Hello, 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 hello. Welcome everybody to yet more Epstein Files. Though I can't say I can't say I exactly look forward to doing these because it covers some very grim content. However, it's still important work and it's all for a good cause. And there we go. That's confirming that the stream is actually working. That's what we need. Okay, so as people come in, I will be giving the rundown of what this will be. Realistically, I don't expect many people to watch this stream at all. It covers, a very boring subject matter because I'm just reading it, but I will go through it anyway. I am covering dataset free, at least, of the Epstein files. Now, I'll get into that in a minute. But I'm covering all the data sets and all the releases from the Department of Justice as part of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which came into effect close to Christmas last year. We've done dataset 1, we've done dataset 2, we're now covering dataset 3. And we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more datasets. And we've got other things as well. First phase of the declassified Epstein files. Some of this I've already covered before. I would have covered it 2 years ago as part of the court documents that were publicly released. And there's also video footage, which we won't be covering because this just covers the footage outside of Epstein's cell. On the day that he allegedly took his own life. But, for example, this content we'll be doing later, interview transcripts from Maxwell, which were apparently done late last year. So, stuff I haven't covered yet, so we'll be doing that. But first of all, we're going all the way up here with dataset 3. Now, as always, this is a disclaimer that while this is monetized and while I do accept super chats, all of that kind of stuff, this will all be going to charity. So I fully intend for all proceeds gained from this content and my other Epstein coverage to go to Speak Out Act Reclaim, abbreviated as SAW, founded by Virginia Guthrie, a confirmed victim of Epstein, now deceased, and it was her witness testimony that I covered heavily 2 years ago when I last covered the Epstein files. Now, while SAW is not currently accepting donations, and I was unable to set up any official fundraiser via YouTube, I will donate these proceedings when possible, or to a similar organization if not. If I'm able to donate, proof will be provided and released when I do so, or if, for example, SAW becomes defunct, or something else happens, I will endeavor to donate to a similar organization. But I will be completely transparent about that first. I might even do a poll or ask for suggestions. But that'll, I'll give it a decent amount of time. I'll allow SAW to organize themselves, as I say, because this is still an ongoing mess at the moment. And once it's done, once they are accepting donations, I'll donate and I'll make that public. And indeed, I encourage you to hold me to account on that, because I don't intend to break my word at all. Now, as we say, dataset 3, this has a lot of redacted material from what I can see. So, you can see here that it starts at 3,858. There are 2 pages here. It ends at file number 5586. So, realistically, in total, in dataset 3, there should be a total of 1,728 files. Here we have 67, though several of these, I admit, are condensed into more than one. So there are potentially, on paper, 1,661 files either missing or redacted. Now, while some of these files are condensed, while some of these are, for example, in this one, there could be 6 numbers, 7 maybe, covering each a different page. I've scattered ahead, and it doesn't reflect that at all. These are not massively huge files. There's a lot there, but it is nowhere near a total of 1,728. And what this dataset covers, as I've scouted ahead, it uncovers various things submitted for evidence. So yeah, there is stuff to read in here. I have checked. There is even more stuff to read in dataset 4, which I've scouted ahead. Now, my idea, I don't know how long this is going to be. My idea is to cover dataset 3, and then just have that as a separate stream. Is normally something similar I do for chapters for my normal stories. Is this could be dataset 3, and then I'll mark that off, and then tomorrow I'll do dataset 4. However, if this stream is incredibly short, I will continue with dataset 4 because I don't want this to be a short stream. If it's just about right time length for a stream, then I'll probably call it for dataset 3, continue dataset 4 tomorrow, and I'll play with my kittens tonight. Speaking of which, Clara is happily dozing right underneath the blue dragon you can see in the background. She's curled up. She's not being mischievous this time. And Dexter is curled up, not quite fast asleep, but he's dozing on my bed. Both cats are absolutely fine. But as I say, as I normally say, if they act a bit wild, I might need to break just to deal with them. But I will also try and get them to show up on camera if they're up for it. Clara was last time, and the time before that. Dexter's normally the chiller of my two kittens, but he doesn't like being picked up. Now, it doesn't mean I won't try, though. But obviously, they're not the focus. The focus is on the PDS or on the Epstein Files. I intend to go through the entire lot. While some of the video files I won't necessarily be able to read in the traditional sense regarding what I do. I'll just pass over that as needed. But my full intention is to read the entire lot. And indeed, I might need to pass over some files just to say, there's nothing to read here, let's move on. That's to ensure and just to prove that I'm being thorough. Because I know later down the line, if people say, oh no, you didn't read it all, I can just say, bitch please, yes I did, here's the live stream. So, without further ado, let's begin. I'm just going to swap over to the PDFs. Just make sure that works. Alright, that's not working. Let me just double check, see if this can... There we go. Alright. We're in. Jolly good. So, we're starting at... This is the start of dataset 3, file number 3858. Now, we confirmed in the last one there's been a lot of redactions. Here, we can see another one. So, I'm just going to go through and read what I can. So, this is... as I say, file number 3858. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. 1B1-23B, and that's all it says. Now, from the curvature of this, it does look like a traditional paper folder, so maybe this is just the heading. Item was not scanned. Description: 1 adult soap on a rope. Official Doc Lab instructions revised July 27th, 2020. Soap on a rope. Lever up. Why did this have to be the first one? Pussy. Exotic. Soap on a rope. Lever up pussy. Go ahead and work yourself up into a sudsy lever. This playful pussy will bring a new kick to your shower or tub. There isn't a better way to start your day than with a little pussy. Exotic. SE2482-04-2 71677001328. Copyright 1997 by California Exotic Novel, made in China, sold as a novelty, I'm assuming. All rights reserved, the shape and appearance of the package. Trademark and trade dress of California something. Do not share with other sexual partners. Help to prevent something for the use of condoms. Sexual education, proper judgment, I'm assuming. Yeah, you sure as shit didn't do that. For external use only. Barcode 0000048572 Fuck me sideways. Why was that the first item? Well, it's a good thing that I'm not expecting any money from this anyway. Because, yeah, this is demonetized. Sorry, YouTube. But I'm doing important work here. Next file. Please, can you not be as risky? Okay, why are you scrolled all the way down? Okay. We can zoom in on this one. Not sure what this says. Let me have a look. Dem 58. Massage table. That's either a bunch of black or redacted information. Can't necessarily make out what it says here. Banker's box. Biofoam. Let's turn that back around. So this was the massage table. As I mentioned in previous streams, and indeed from what we read before, this was their essentially cover, if you like. Everything was a massage, and the girls were masseuses or whatever it was, even though they weren't licensed or anything like that. I think there were 1 or 2 licensed ones from what I can recall. But this was the cover. Epstein liked his massages, and did facilitate that for other people. Oh yes, I should bring this up as well while I remember. We encountered Bill Clinton a lot during Dataset 2, with him appearing in a considerable number of photos. Some of them in, I would argue, controversial, that's putting it fucking lightly, positions with possibly underage girls. I say possibly, I checked the height and the general appearance of them. A lot of that was censored. Now, as for the question of why he's not faced any prosecution or criminal action for that, he has been subpoenaed and he has resisted that, I will say that, is that there has not been any corroborating witness testimony against him from what we can see. I did have a look at that. It could be that a lot of this detail is still, a lot of these details are still hidden. But that is the official reason. So I'm not sure what to think of that. But he certainly appears in the photos. The goal of this stream, as I say, I knew I forgot to mention other things at the start. The goal of this stream is not necessarily to pin blame on Democratic figures in the US or Republican figures like Trump. Trump, Clinton. A lot of people like to throw shade specifically at the people they don't like. Our goal here is just to read it, to try and cut it straight down the middle as possible, and my only role, apart from reading it, is to just give some kind of comprehension. But my only real expertise in that matter is comprehension from text, rather than necessarily photos. Now, we've had mostly photos these last couple of streams. Next stream, or Dataset 4, will involve text. But I can give some background information for people that don't understand, based on what I know. But it should not be considered an expert opinion, because I'm not an expert, I'm just a guy on the internet. Anyway, with that said, let's carry on. Biofoam again. Okay. Item 31, massage table. Case 05368, property number 05-1024. Yeah, I couldn't be bothered to rotate the image there. And this is the same one. Item number 31, although that's massively zoomed out. This is the zoomed in label. This is a different label, actually, because it's... yeah, because that's the seam there. We don't get that seam here, but it's still item number 31. It's the same item. Unfortunately, that is pixelated to shit. Even if I rotated the image, I would not be able to read that. That's another problem with these official FBI photos, is that they're not shooting in high def. It's almost like they really don't want people to look at some of this stuff. But, oh well. I can only do what I can do. I don't have the tech to enhance, but by all means, if people want to enhance and send it to me to read later, I can go with that. Anyway, what does this say? This might be readable. Item number 6, massage table. Another one. Now, I think this is case number 05. These are some other digits, property of, or property number. I think that's 05 again, and that's another number. It might be 1034, I want to say. It has the same format as the previous labels. I want to say that that's what that says. I don't know for sure, because, I mean, can you read that? If I zoom in, I can't really. I think that's 1034, but yeah, that's very, very difficult to read. Oh, did I Did I swap it around? I did swap it around. Okay, I've messed up. Let me swap that background. (3867) 3866. It's okay. It's changed the order in which he wants to do it. Okay, we've covered that one. Covered this one. Covered this one. This one doesn't have anything to read. It has the number 6 on that label there. And then here, what do we have here? Okay. Item number 19? Massage table. And the same format again. Case number, that's an 05, but I cannot read the rest of it. That's also an 05. That might be the same format, 1024, but that is illegible. Okay, photo lineups. Okay, and now we're getting into the really sensitive stuff. Now this is just the folder for the photo lineups. It's not that thick a folder. Photo lineups. This looks like the kind of cardboard folder, like a manila. No, not, is it manila? I'm not sure. Yeah, this looks like the start of a folder. Okay, right, we've got some stuff here. Good, that's what I like to see. Investigating officer, nothing. Case number, nothing. File name, well, that says something. AGT. Now this says nothing as, this is redacted as well, and I can't unredact it. Now, I do know that there are apparently methods out there to unredact some of the material. I made sure to get all these PDFs before, you know, they were so updated in a way, so I should be able to unredact them. However, this is an image. It's not a work of text. I mean, it looks like a work of text, but this was taken as a picture, essentially. So I don't actually think I can uncensor that. I mean, I'm clicking around. I don't seem to have that option. Notes. And this is Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. Lineup information, date 08/09/2006. Time 2:26 p.m. Page 2 of 2. So where's page 1? Page 1 is not here. Yeah. Page 1 could just be an introduction or something like that. We don't know. However, a lot of information has been hidden here. Okay. Everything's underneath, but here we have somebody else. Jacket number, redacted. Full name redacted. First name redacted. Middle name redacted. Last name redacted. Booking ID redacted. Jacket number, yep, and the same information here. Both of that times 2, all redacted. Birth date redacted. Age redacted. Race, W. I'm assuming that stands for white. Caucasian. I mean, it depends. This is a US file, so would it just say white? Or would it say Caucasian? I'm assuming race is white in this case. Marital status, married. Gender, M. Height, 6'0". 0 inches. Hair color. I want to say that says grey. Yeah, GRY, probably grey. Facial hair, none. Eye color, bro. I'm assuming that means brown. Seriously, it's a 3-letter word versus a 5-letter word. I would just say brown. Build, M, medium, I'm assuming. Complexion, med, medium. So there's an M there and an M and a med there. I don't know. I mean, these could just be like desk sergeants just using shorthand or something like that. And the weight here is 205 pounds. So a heavier guy. And in this one, birth date redacted, age redacted, race W, I'm assuming white, marital status single, gender M, height 6'1". Hair color grey, facial hair none, eye color hazel probably, build M, complexion far medium, I'm not sure what that means. Weight 165 pounds, so a much slimmer guy than this guy and taller. Now here's the unredacted one with a picture of Epstein. Jacket number. Hang on, let me make sure my mic's up close. There we go. It's on the boom there. If you guys haven't noticed. So jacket number 0338617. Full name Epstein Jeffrey. First name Jeffrey. Middle name redacted. Middle name there isn't one. Last name Epstein. Booking ID 20067233017. Birth date 01/20/1953. Age 53. Race W, white. Marital status single. Gender M, male. Height 6'1". 0 inches. Hair color, grey. Facial hair, none. Eye color, blue. Build, M. Complexion, far. I don't know what they mean by, I could probably just Google it, but, you know, complexion medium, complexion far, not necessarily. You know, my Aspie mind does not necessarily know what that means. I'll probably just Google it later afterwards. That's not important right now. And weight 180 pounds. So, these guys were all booked and arrested at the same time. All men. Epstein's the only one we know about. There are 2 others here whose identities have been redacted. I mean, there are a lot of photos with Epstein. It may be that these 2 accomplices, indeed, if they are accomplices, suspected accomplices, we'll say. It's possible that these guys appear in the photos, and which we've already covered, and maybe down the line, you know, people can work it out in a way. I mean, I'm wondering if... I'm sorry, I'm moving around too much. I'm getting comfortable. Obviously, we know certain heavily implicated figures. Prince Andrew is one of them. In my country, big fucking disgrace over here. Like, I know in the US, you might not 100% know. You might think he's gotten away with it. No. Prince Andrew, he's no longer officially a prince anymore. He's been completely disowned by the royal family. And there are talks of actually handing him over. Which, considering how protected our royal family is, that's insane. But I hope they do it, because absolutely get justice for the victims. Just whoever's guilty, punish them. I don't care how important or elite they are. But yeah, absolutely, Andrew's got to go. But yeah, these 2 are redacted for now. I think that's very interesting. And especially when the whole Epstein files are meant to be transparent. It could just be that there's an ongoing case regarding these 2, and that the FBI still needs to build up their case. It still has been quite a while, so I would assume you can get on with it already. Anyway, next one. Okay, more redacted stuff. Well, we'll go for it anyway. Investigating officer, nothing there. Case number, nothing there. File name, AGT, nothing there. But there is something. Oh, I poked my mic a bit. Didn't mean to do that. So, this looks like a capital letter. I think it's a capital H. So this bit is redacted. I think it's capital... Oh god, what the hell was that? I thought I just heard something. Alexa, show front door.
Okay.
Just going to do a quick check of my house. Be right back. I really hope this isn't famous last words. Hey, Clara. Yeah, that was very strange. I thought I heard another voice around. So yeah. Alexa, off. Alright. It could just be an echo, I don't know. But that's a capital H, I think. Anyway, notes, no notes. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, line of information. Date 08/09/2006, time 2:26 p.m. Page 1 of 2. Okay. This is page 1, the previous one was page 2. And unfortunately, we have some redacted information here. So, I'm just going to cover these ones. What I'm saying here is essentially times 3. So, jacket number, redacted. Full name, redacted. First name, redacted. Middle name, redacted. Last name, redacted. Booking ID, redacted. And that's times 3. Now we're going to go for this side here. Birth date, redacted. Age, redacted. Race, W. White again, I'm assuming. Marital status, married. Gender, M. Okay, these are also men. I thought these were women. Height, 5 foot 10 inches. Hair color, grey. Facial hair, none. eye color hazel, build M, complexion med, weight 180 pounds. Birthday redacted, age redacted, race W, marital status married, gender M, height 5 foot 9 inches. Hair color grey, facial hair none, eye color brown, build M, complexion med, weight 175 pounds. And last one, birth date redacted, age redacted, race W, marital status divorced, gender M, height 6 foot 0 inches. Hair color grey, facial hair none, eye color blue, build nothing there, complexion far, weight 165 pounds. Okay, yeah, a lot of old white dudes. That's all I can say from what we can see here. Now, yeah, obviously we know of this one, so I'm assuming... I mean, Palm Beach is in Florida, I think. So a bunch of old dudes hanging out with Epstein in Florida, all getting arrested at the same time. It could just be that that some of these didn't actually have anything to do with it, and they were just caught at the time being with Epstein. Like, a lot of standard procedure with... I know this. A lot of standard procedure with arresting people or doing like a no-knock raid or something like that is you arrest literally everybody. Even if it's a situation where there's hostages and stuff like that, you just arrest everybody. Arrest everybody, put them all in cuffs, sort it out at the station. And indeed, they need to be booked. So it could just be some of these guys are genuinely innocent. But, I mean, birds of a feather and all that. So, we don't know for sure. Anyway, we got more here. Okay, this one's a different one. Investigating officer, nothing there. Case number, nothing there. File name, AGT, and there's a capital H. Notes, nothing there. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, lineup information. Date 08/09/2006, time 2:26 p.m, page 1 of 2. Okay, and again, I'm going to do this times 3. Jacket number, redacted. Full name, redacted. First name, redacted. Middle name, redacted. Last name, redacted. Booking ID, redacted. And I'm just going to see... Hang on a minute, I already did this. No, I already did this bit. Yeah. I've literally just scrolled up. What am I doing? I'm repeating myself. This one I have already done. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I think it was because I was panicking earlier about thinking I was hearing voices. Anyway, I'm just looking at the chat. Complexion is apparently just skin tone variations like darker light, medium light, and so on. That's fair enough. While I do very much appreciate you being a man of your word, the more I learn about what has been released with the Epstein Files, nothing that's been released actually has meaningful relevance. I agree. A lot of it has still not been released yet, and it needs to be. A lot of it has been censored and shouldn't be. I fully agree with that. Yeah, I mean, my hope is that the people perpetrating this face justice. I do think there's possibly heavy cover-up going on. Oh, hello. I had a meow. Hello, Chloe, you alright? He's a good girl. There's a good girl. Sorry about that. Scared the shit out of me. Oh god. I think I scared myself early with thinking I was hearing something. I did check the house. There was nothing there. But now I'm sort of in that state of paranoia. But yeah, I think a lot of it is just a smokescreen. It was similar to when the video footage of Epstein's cell was released. On the night or day he supposedly took his own life. A lot of that was up in the air, and apparently like 2 minutes got taken out, and people digitally went through everything. I'm not a tech guy. I don't know how that kind of stuff goes on. But yeah, there's some shady stuff behind this all. So while this might not come to anything, I still think it's worth putting as much of this into the public and putting this out there as possible. Just, never stop talking about this. Make sure, at some point we get justice for the victims. And I'm very, there's probably some whistleblowers around that would be willing to completely start naming names and put that all out there. But it's very important that this stays relevant. We don't let this die down. It's entirely possible, as I say, that this was just thrown out there as a sort of as a platitude and nothing more. But my goal with what I do, while it may not result in justice being done, it will help, keep that torch lit, and hopefully that will happen eventually. But yeah, I'm a little bit cynical about this, but I can only do what I can do. Anyway, Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. Alright, lineup 1, 2, and 3 are redacted. I'm assuming these are photos because 4 is Jeffrey Epstein. 5 and 6 are also redacted. I'm assuming these relate to the other 5 possible suspects above that were booked by the cops. But sadly, nothing to read there. Anyway, Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. And that's a repeat. Okay, that's a repeat, and that's a repeat. Yeah, it's the same one. It's the exact same thing. Palm Beach Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3, pictures redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6, redacted. And that's a repeat. This is another repeat. What the hell is going on? Yeah, it is. These are numbered differently, but these are all the same. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3, all redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6, redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3, redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6, redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3, redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6, redacted. Come on, guys. What are you doing, FBI? Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3, redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6, redacted. Fucking Christ, it's the same one. How many times does this go? Okay, so we're at 3, 8, 7, 8. Hang on. Let me just highlight that so we know where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 13 more. So we're going to read this times 13. Oh, hang on. That's 215, 215, 215, 215, 215, 215, 215, 215, 215, 215, 222. Okay, some slight variations. So we will go through all of this. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3, redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6, redacted. So, okay. In that case, my thoughts are these are different mugshots, if you like. And while Epstein's might be exactly the same, with that look of, oh, I'm fucked, these redacted ones, at the time with the actual photos, they may be different ones, like side-ons, that kind of thing. Whatever you. Although that said, these are done at exactly the same time. You can take a lot of photos in a minute. Anyway, Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3, redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6, redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:22 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3, redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6, redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup. Dexter! Date 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m. That's a different time. Yeah. But this is done 2:15 p.m. That's earlier. Page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3 redacted. 4, Epstein. Is that the same photo? Yeah, it does. It is the same photo. And 5, 6 redacted. Strange. Okay, that's fine. Dexter's playing downstairs. I think he's scratching something. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3 redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6 redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 1 of 1. 1, 2, 3 redacted. 4, Epstein. 5, 6 redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 101. Cat's meowing, that's fine, they like to do that. I'm gotten myself super paranoid. I keep thinking there's something around. Oh well. I do have a knife by the desk. Don't ask me why. I like to pick my feet sometimes. Yeah. Well, if the Clintons have sent a hitman after me, or indeed whoever it may be, I'll go down fighting if I can. But I suspect I'm just being paranoid, and it's just my two little kittens. Anyway, did I read that bit? Palm Beach Sheriff's Office line update 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 101, 123 redacted, 4 Epstein 56 redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office line update 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 101, 123 redacted, 4 Epstein 56 redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office line update 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 101. 123 redacted, 4 Epstein 56 redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 101, 123 redacted, 4 Epstein 56 redacted. Yeah, I don't know if this is the exact same photo or if just Epstein's just petrified with that oh shit face as they're taking multiple photos. We can only speculate. I mean, it does look exactly like a repeat though, even though they changed the time slightly on a few of these. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 1 of 1. 123, redacted, 4 Epstein 56 redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 1 of 1. 123, redacted, 4 Epstein 56 redacted. Palm Beach Sheriff's Office lineup, date 08/09/2006, time 2:15 p.m, page 1 of 1. 123, redacted, 4 Epstein 56 redacted. And here we go. It's a different page, but it's still more redacted stuff. 1, redacted. Doesn't even say 2 here. 3, redacted. 4, 5, 6, redacted. Okay. Florida, David, individual summary page. David being an abbreviation for something. State of Florida, Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. Driver and Vehicle Information Database. David. Okay, that's the abbreviation. Digital images are restricted to law enforcement used pursuant to S.322.142 brackets 4 Florida statutes. Images include photographs and signatures, and that's page 1 of 2. Individual summary page. DLID number. Redacted. Class E. Status expired. A number. Redacted. 10. This is an address that's redacted. FL334804730. Now that looks like what we would call a postcode. I think you call it a zip code over there. How narrow is that zip code, to my American friends? I mean, is there on the stream? Type it in if you want. Have a look. All addresses on file. Date of birth redacted. Sex F. Height 5'10". Country of birth redacted. Restrictions nothing. Endorsements nothing. Issue date 06/04/04. Duplicate date 07/23/04. Expiration date 01/01/06. SSN nothing there. Form number redacted. Conditional messages not a citizen. So as a non-citizen driving vehicle information database. So it's a non-citizen with like a driver's license or something like that, I'm assuming. Anyway, vehicle information, record, VIN, type, color, body, make, acquired date, reg. Okay, that's all redacted. Record, this is obviously taken from a website or something, or an intranet, saying view, that you can click. Obviously, I can't click it here. DLID number, all redacted. Transaction date, 07/23/04, 06/04/04, 06/04/04, 01/07/04. Hello, Clara. Issue date, 06/04/04, 06/04/04, 06/04/04, 01/07/04. Update time, 07/23/04, 13/37/50, 06/24/04, 19/25/19, 06/04/04, 17/12/22, 01/07/04, 17/16/13. License type DLLLID. Issue type replacement and original. Change type name, date of birth, sex. Nothing there. None and none. FL disp surrendered. Clara, what are you doing? Ah, she's playing with a toy. Her toy has somehow made it up into my study. And Dex is on the ground as well. Now, Can you two not make any noises that are going to scare the shit out of me? Yes. I'm talking about you, Dexter. You probably made all those noises. Yeah, you were a good boy. So if Net gets abducted on stream, what do we do? Like, I don't live on his continent. That area code was South Palm Beach. Okay, I don't know how big that is. What to do if I get abducted? You immediately blow the whistle and tell every single YouTuber what's happened. This is all being streamed. The evidence will be there. Make sure you screenshot and everything, so even if I die, people can see that something is going on, and the main motivation, the main likely reason is that they don't like me reading out the Epstein content. Even though this is all publicly available information. Either that, or it's a burglar. I have a decent security system. It shouldn't be a burglar. But just in case it is, I've got to, I don't know, fight him off, stab the cunt. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I've got a good security system around. So, you know, I would have heard it if it was actually a burglar. Something would have gone off. Hello, Clara. What are you doing? They're just playing right at my feet there. So yeah, if anything happens, blow the whistle, Moist Critical, Coffeezilla, all of that, my channel will actually go viral for a change, even if I end up dying. But you know, my whole attitude with this whole thing is unlikely that I will be whacked for reading this, but if I am, it's in the name of a good cause. And fuck it, you know, I've lived a good life. If this is the way I go out, I can deal. Anyway, link, https://www.hsmv.flcjn.net/servlet/drsummary. 8/17/2006. Oh, great. 1 redacted, 2 redacted, 3 redacted, 4, 5, 6 redacted. I'm assuming these are photos, although the paper, if you zoom in on the paper, there's a lot of crisscross and stuff. I mean, maybe this is like a photo album or something. I don't know. I mean, it's probably still part of the police report. It's just this paper looks weird. So it may be like it's a laminated thing with pictures. Clara, you're very distracting. You know that? Anyway. Photo lineup. Sheriff. Date time 8/11/2006. 2:30:20 p.m. I'm assuming hour, minute, second. I can't imagine what else it might be. 1, 2, redacted. There isn't even a 3 there. 4, 5, 6, all redacted. Photo lineup, sheriff, date, time, 8/11/2006, 2:30:20 p.m. 1, 2, redacted. This is redacted, not even 3. I'm assuming that's 3. 4, 5, 6, also redacted. Photo lineup, sheriff, date, time, 8/11/2006, 2:30:20 p.m. 1, 2, redacted. There we go, we got a little bit of a 3 there. That's redacted. 4, 5, 6, also redacted. What are you doing, you two? I swear they weren't like this when I was recording the normal videos today, and my throat is much better now. And as for my drink, I'm drinking whiskey. I am allowed this on the keto diet, which I'm now on. Yeah, I am officially at the moment a soy boy because I can't actually drink proper milk on the diet. I've got to drink either almond or soy, and soy, I can get it delivered, so soy it is. Anyway. Yeah. These two are making a lot of noise. That's scares the shit out of me, but it's also comforting because they're right next to me. Anyway. Photo lineup, sheriff, date, time, 8/11/2006, 2:30:21 p.m. Okay, here we go again. This is going to be at ×3 here. Jacket ID, redacted. Booking ID, redacted. First name, redacted. Middle name, redacted. Last name, redacted. Full name, redacted. And that's ×3 because that's all of these here. As for on the left here, or on the right here, I should say, we're now getting females. So birth date, redacted. Age, redacted. Race, white. Marital status, single. Gender, female. Height, 5 foot 1 inches. Hair color, blonde, strawberry. That should narrow it down. Facial hair, none. My face when one of these women actually... yeah! Can't articulate my thoughts properly. Yeah. Facial hair on a woman. I wouldn't have expected that, but, you know, if we do get that, that would be quite funny. Eye color, green. That's a rare eye color type. Build, medium. Complexion, medium. Weight, 108 pounds. Yeah, I found a lot of protagonists in HFY stories have green eyes, yet that is so incredibly rare, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's a protagonist eye color, but they're not obviously a protagonist here. Birth date, redacted. Age, redacted. Race, white. Marital status, N. I'm assuming not married? Or single? N? I don't know. What would the N mean? I'm assuming they're not married. Just say you're single then. Gender, female. Height, 5'7". Hair color, blonde, strawberry. Facial hair, none. Eye color, grey. Build, not mentioned. Complexion, fair. Weight, 128 pounds. Birth date, redacted. Age, redacted. Race, white. Marital status, N. Gender, female. Height, 5'8". Hair color, blonde, strawberry. Facial hair, not mentioned. Eye color, green. Build, not mentioned. Complexion, fair. Weight, 117 pounds. Yeah, okay. Possible relations, I guess, if they both got blonde hair with green eyes. Anyway, let's move on. Next one, photo lineup, sheriff, date time, 8/11/2006 to 30:21 p.m. Same one for these two. Again, this is ×2 this time rather than ×3. Jacket ID, redacted. Booking ID, redacted. First name, redacted. Middle name, redacted. Last name, redacted. Full name, redacted. And we're going to move here. Birth date, redacted. Age, redacted. Race, white. Marital status, N. Gender, female. Height, 5'2". Hair color, blonde, strawberry. Facial hair, not mentioned. Eye color, blue. Build, not mentioned. Complexion, fair. Weight, 90 pounds. Birth date, redacted. Age, redacted. Race, white. Marital status, not mentioned. Gender, female. Height, 5'4". Hair color, blonde or strawberry. Facial hair, none. Eye color, brown. Build, small. Complexion, light. Weight, 110 pounds. It does worry me a little bit that these police reports aren't done in a sort of standardized way. So marital status, I would just say single, married, divorced, that kind of thing as well, rather than just put N. Does that mean not married? Does that mean they're not single? We don't know. But yeah, I mean, and where information is outright missing out, it could just be that, you know, in the case of a minor, for example, that wouldn't really apply. But also, it could just be like they're refusing to answer or they're refusing to identify, and that's just what they've got to go with as they're booked in. I don't know. It does seem a bit weird. Or it could just be like the desk sergeant or whoever it was just outright not caring and just ignoring and doing a hash job of it, which, yeah, as far considering this is a massive legal thing, does worry me a little bit. And this is a bar that's redacted underneath. Based on what we've seen previously, it could just be a third, you know, like a third line of someone being booked in. But all of it's not there this time. Clara, what are you doing? She's okay. She's knocked her toy under my PC. So if I end up randomly turning off, don't worry, the Epstein people haven't got me yet. It's probably one of the cats. Oh, there we go. Here's a good girl. Anyway, Palm. I need to get a step on this. This is a little bit longer than I thought. This one's in particular is a long PDF. Palm Beach Police Department 05368. Redacted. I can't even tell what this is. Okay. Hear me out. This little bit at the top, going in here, I suspect these are all photos rather than lines of text. Palm Beach Police Department 05368. Again, that looks like the top of a picture or an image. But again, all of it's redacted. It's really annoying. And is it a different one? Yeah, I think it's a different one from this. Like it's all scanned at an angle. You can see here, and I think that's why there's a little bit poking out at the top. However, these are different. This one's a bit shallower than this one, unless it's like a repeat scan or something. Clara, do you mind? I really hope you can't hear that. But that's an image as well. Okay, where am I? I'm here. Palm Beach Police Department 05368. I want to say it's the same format. So these could also be scans or images that have been redacted. And at this point, I just don't know because it's completely hidden, I think. Yeah, not even stuff at the sides to give me a clue. Oh, Clara, I don't want to kick you out, but you are being distracting and I need to get on. Palm Beach Police Department, 05368. I should point out they've been fed and they've had a lot of fuss today as well, so, you know. They're not exactly starving for attention. I'm not neglecting them, I promise. Anyway. Starved animal. Anyway, but Palm Beach Police Department 05368, same again. Palm Beach Police Department 05368, same again. I don't know if this is exactly the same, or if it's like just another thing. Alexa, show front door. Alexa, show front door.
Okay.
Alright, there we go. Sorry, my stupid amount of paranoia tonight has really kicked in. Oh, don't be alarmed, but there was a car right outside my house. I don't like it when they do that, but I can see them on the ring. Yeah, there's a white or silver car parked right outside my house. Well, I haven't seen anyone get out of the car, but they just parked there. Could just be they're waiting outside the house. But presumably, if they're scouting the place out to try and rob me, they can probably see my ring camera pointing right at them and recording. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, I think I did that one. Now, here's something new. Prop 06753. Photo lineup instructions. Case number, okay, this one might be crossed out. 05368 might be crossed out. 061078, and that's been redacted. You will be asked to look at a group of photographs. The fact that the photographs are shown to you should not influence your judgment. You should not conclude or guess that the photographs contain the picture of the person who committed the crime. You are not obliged to identify anyone. It is just as important to free innocent persons from suspicion as to identify guilty parties. Please do not discuss the case with other witnesses, nor indicate in any way that you have identified someone. Signed, redacted. Date. Oh god, this is 7/28/06, I think that says. Bad writing, bad format. Time 12:40. Officer's initials redacted. Ah. Now, this potentially changes things or changes the context of what we saw earlier, where, you know, people were being booked in, identified and all of that stuff. Some of these could be duds. As in, people brought in as part of the lineup, so people can say, oh yeah, it's this person, or it's not that person, it's not that person, you know. So basically, having a witness being able to identify a perpetrator in the lineup, that could be why the previous information was redacted, because indeed they could be all innocent people. They could just be, you know, similar hairstyle, similar age to Epstein, but just put in that lineup so people can say it specifically as Epstein. That might be why. Anyway, photo lineup, Palm Beach Police Department. Date, time, 7/28/2006, 11:42:31 a.m. 1, 2, redacted. 3, circled, redacted. This is a bit pointless here, but it could be like an annotation on the picture, but that is definitely Epstein. 4, 5, 6, also redacted. Excuse me a second, I'm going to pop downstairs. I'm going to turn the light on my living room. So yeah, car park right outside. I've turned a bunch of lights on. Yeah. No reason for me to call the cops specifically right now, but I've locked the place the fuck down. Yeah. Could just be... Oh, Clara, get out from behind the PC. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. There's a car parked right outside. They sort of parked partly on the curb, and they're right outside my front door. Didn't see anyone in the car, but it was very, very dark in there. So it could just be they're scouting the place out. I put my head out the door, gave a threatening look, turned on a bunch of other lights, and I might have had a blade on me. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll keep an eye on it. Clara, let me just deal with this cat. Let me get that for you, cat. This is very undignified. This is what they've been playing with. Clara. There you go. I love my kittens, but I cannot be distracted. Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's not the first time like I've had a random car parked outside my house, but it could just be a tactic because mine's a new build. It could just be they're just going around looking for potential marks. But I do have a bunch of Ring cameras everywhere, and a few other things as well. So should be all right, but. Yeah, a little bit of a show of force just to say, I see you, and I know you're there. I'm not going to go too close to get the license plate, just in case someone jumps out the car. But, you know, if they try anything, I've got enough time to call the cops and barricade myself. And gear up to the teeth. Yeah, right. That's a distraction I really didn't need when doing this stream, but whatever. Just something ominous. I promise I'm not bullshitting people. Anyway, prop number 06759, photo lineup instructions, case number 061078, redacted. You will be asked to look at a group of photographs. The fact that the photographs are shown to you should not influence your judgment. You should not conclude or guess that the photographs contain the picture of the person who committed the crime. You are not obliged to identify anyone. It is just as important to free innocent persons from suspicion as to identify guilty parties. Please do not discuss the case with other witnesses, nor indicate in any way that you have identified something. Okay, so it could be multiple people involved in this. Anyway, Clara, why are you back here? It's over there. She came back to look for her toy. It's right outside the door. Signed, redacted. Officer's initials, from what we can see last time. That's also redacted. Date 4/31/06. Time 12:40. Yeah. Sorry, getting a little bit of noise on my ring cam. Could just be the owner of that car coming back or something, but I see nobody so far. If I see the car just randomly start deciding to move, there was someone in that car the entire time. And I'll see if I can grab the license plate from one of my other cameras. Anyway, that's that bit done. Photo lineup, Palm Beach Police Department, date, time, 7/28/2006, 11:42:31 a.m. Now, I will say a lot of these are repeats. These could be the same files and photos shown to different witnesses. So 1, 2, redacted, Epstein is circled, and a decent amount of information is redacted. Is it the same as the previous one? It is... It is not the same circle as the previous one. And a little bit more information is done. So presumably there's like a note saying this was the one identified or something like that with initials. but the circle around here, that's a different circle compared to the other one. So from what I can see, these are different witness statements, all implicating Epstein specifically. 456, redacted. Prop number 06759, photo lineup instructions, case number 061078. Redacted. You'll be asked to look at a group of photographs. The fact that the photographs are shown to you should not influence your judgment. You should not conclude or guess that the photographs contain the picture of the person who committed the crime. You are not obliged to identify anyone. It is just as important to free innocent persons from suspicion as to identify guilty parties. Please do not discuss the case with other witnesses, nor indicate in any way that you have identified someone. Signed, redacted, date 7/31/06, time 2:32. Officer's initials, redacted. Clara, is that you? Yes, it is. Scare the shit out of me sometimes, cat. Okay. You know, it was probably a bad idea to look at trailers and stuff for the new Welcome to the Game. If you don't know that game, it's basically a horror game involving a computer where you essentially, it's like a home invasion kind of game. Although home, you know, depends on the map, but it's basically a home invasion game where you have to avoid dark web figures sent after you to basically get you, and there are different rules to them and stuff like that. Very difficult game, very scary game. Really shouldn't have watched it before doing this shit. Oh dear. Anyway, next one. Photo lineup, Palm Beach Police Department, date/time 7/28/2006, 11:42:31 a.m. Circled in a different way. Epstein is there, but we're doing it in the wrong order. 1, 2, redacted. 3 is Epstein circled again, redacted, different circle. 456, redacted. Prop number 06759, photo lineup instructions, case number 061078, redacted. You'll be asked to look at a group of photographs. The fact that the photographs are shown to you should not influence your judgment. You should not conclude or guess that the photographs contain the picture of the person who committed the crime. You are not obliged to identify anyone. It is just as important to free innocent persons from suspicion as to identify guilty parties. Please do not discuss the case with other witnesses, nor indicate in any way that you have identified someone. Signed, redacted, date 7/31/06. Yeah, time 11:50. 11:50 maybe? That's it could be 11:55, I suppose. Officer's initials redacted. Different person. Photo lineup, Palm Beach Police Department, date/time 7/28/2006, 11:42:31 a.m. 1-2, redacted. Epstein is circled again. Doesn't even say number 3. Woo, Alexa, show front door. Alexa, show front door. I'm keeping that on until they go away. Anyway, 456, redacted. Photo lineup instructions, case number not filled in. You'll be asked to look at a group of photographs. The fact that the photographs are shown to you should not influence your judgment. You should not conclude or guess that the photographs contain the picture of the person who committed the crime. You are not obliged to identify anyone. It is just as important to free innocent persons from suspicion as to identify guilty parties. Please do not discuss the case with other witnesses, nor indicate in any way that you have identified someone. Signed by no one, dated by no one, timed by no one, and no officer's initials. This looks like a blank template. 1-2, redacted. 3 is a picture of Epstein. 456, redacted. Doesn't look like there's anyone having filled that out there. Photo lineup instructions, case number, nothing there. You'll be asked to look at a group of photographs. The fact that the photographs are shown to you should not influence your judgment. You should not conclude or guess that the photographs contain a picture of the person who committed the crime. You are not obliged to identify anyone. It is just as important to free innocent persons from suspicion as to identify guilty parties. Please do not discuss the case with other witnesses, nor indicate in any way that you have identified someone. No signing, no date, no time, no officer's initials. 1-2, redacted. 3, Epstein. 456, redacted. 1-2, redacted. 3, Epstein. 456, redacted. Again. Photo lineup instructions, case number, nothing there. You'll be asked to look at a group of photographs. The fact that the photographs are shown to you should not influence your judgment. You should not conclude or guess that the photographs contain the picture of the person who committed the crime. You are not obliged to identify anyone. It is just as important to free innocent persons from suspicion as to identify guilty parties. Please do not discuss the case with other witnesses, nor indicate in any way that you have identified someone. Signed, nothing there. Date, nothing there. Time, nothing there. Officer's initials, nothing there. And that's the end of the file. Woo! Okay. We don't get a repeat on the next one. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Item was not scanned. Description. Photo frame. Oh yeah, I remember these. Official Doc Lab instructions. Revised July 27, 2020. Okay. And that's a photo. This is redacted. It's a photo frame, obviously, but whoever's in there is redacted. Item was not scanned. Description. Photo frame. Official Doc Lab instructions. Revised July 27, 2020. Here is Epstein. Here are what is likely all women. And that's a photo frame. Okay, there's nothing else there. Item was not scanned. Description. Photo frame. Official Doc Lab instructions. Revised July 27, 2020. And that's a photo of I want to say fully grown woman in a bikini. Fully grown, that's a quad bike or a jet ski. And, you know, based on the normal proportions for something of that size, that's a fully grown woman. I want to say. Although, having said that, they could also be younger age. I want to say there's more likely an older person than a younger person. As in, you know, full body rather than a kid, like, struggling to sit on a seat or anything like that. Yeah. Oh, you two are doing alright. You're settling fine. Realistically, if my cats would have detected anyone in the house or approaching the house, they would have run the hell away. I would know. But you two are fine. You're just playing, aren't you? Yeah. What was that? Yeah, you, Clara? That is you, Clara. Stop going behind my PC. I'm getting super paranoid. Anyway, item was not scanned. Description. Photo frame. Official Doc Lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. Okay, there's a small photo. Palm trees, but that's completely redacted. Item was not scanned. Description. Photo frame. Official Doc Lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. I suspect we're going to get quite a few repeats of this. This is another redacted photo. Now, having said that, dataset 1 and dataset 2, we had a lot of photos involving random people. A lot of that was redacted as well. But I don't know if these are, like... Because this is taken in as evidence, these could be specifically victims. They could be conspirators. They could be whistleblowers as well. So it's more. I'm leaning more towards they are crucial to the case and their identities need to be protected either to further investigate the case or to protect the witnesses. Item was not scanned. Description. Photo frame. Official Doc Lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. Okay. Photo of 3 people. Item was not scanned. Description. Photo frame. Official Doc Lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. Okay, is that Prince Andrew? That is quite possibly Prince Andrew here. It's hard to tell because he's a bit older now, and he's got, like, the full grey hair, and this was, a lot of these, like, are taken in 2006, for example. So this could be an older photo. This is Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know if she's older or younger. I mean, certainly she's got a lot more of the wrinkles on the neck. Shorter hair is entirely possible. But yeah. Certain scenes were talked about in the original Epstein Files, talking about Prince Andrew and some of his antics. So that could possibly be Prince Andrew. And yeah, all of these could be, yeah, well, possible victims, I think. Anyway, nothing else in that one. Item was not scanned. Description. Photo frame. Official Doc Lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. Okay, this one has... Alright, there's a few more, and this one has text. Once in a blue moon. 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 And once in a blue moon. That is literally just on repeat going around the frame. USA. Oh, what does this check say, though? Ha! That signature. Okay. So, This bit is redacted, but this could be the end of Jeffrey. This word says Epstein, 22,500. This is a signature. Is this signature here, however? I think this is DJ Trump. That could be a check from Trump. And Epstein has a framed photo of it. So, obviously, the goal isn't necessarily to throw shade at anything. This is a bit suspicious. Then again, I would measure this against how many charitable donations does Trump make? Do we necessarily know? I don't know. Why is he paying Epstein that amount of money? And, what was this for, essentially? Was this a charity? How often does Trump make donations like this? Could it be 1 of 1,000, 1 of 100? Maybe he doesn't do that. Maybe this is a one-off. I think the less... Let me try and phrase what I'm trying to say. So, the less the quantity of donations that Trump normally makes is, the more suspicious I would make it. The more he likes to throw money at charity and all of that, the less suspicious it would be. If I had a shitload of money, if a bunch of people were panhandling me and it didn't cost me anything, sure, I'd want to help a bunch of charities as well. But this is suspicious. This does look like Trump's signature. DJ TRUMP. That's exactly what it looks like. There's no hiding it. There's no covering for it. And I certainly don't want to cover it for it either. Don't know what that was for, though. But we'll see. There is a check that Trump has made towards Epstein, though. Anyway, 97. This is redacted, but it's otherwise a blank piece of paper. Posh bit of paper, actually, because it's got some laminations on it. Anyway, that is redacted. Oh, no, that could be the back of a photo, actually. Yeah, that would make more sense. This is the back of a photo frame. And this is actually being the photo. So, yeah. Curious that they didn't do this with the others, but curious with this one, they took the back of the photo frame. But 97 could possibly be the year. Both Epstein and Trump were alive then. They were actively in business then. So, yeah. Curious to see. Anyway, let's move on. Anyway, 1B1-11A. Item was not scanned. Description, photo with frame. Official .lab instructions, revised July 27th, 2020. And, okay, this looks like Rocks C, whoever's there has been redacted. And there's nothing else there. 1B1-11B. Item was not scanned. Description, photo with frame. Official .lab instructions, revised July 27th, 2020. Well, it's a mostly naked person. I can't tell if they're male or female. I want to say more likely female. I think just from the build, there's no hair on the legs or anything like that, which would normally be indicative of a man. Then again, these no nail polish or anything like that. Could be either. Could be male or female. The bars are that good. I want to say it's more likely female. I think just because the more live shape, or it could be just a fitter man. But yeah, nothing else I can read there. 1B1-12A. Item was not scanned. Description, photo with frame. Official .lab instructions, revised July 27th, 2020. Okay, that's the start. Okay, this basically, I can't read all of it, but from what I can see, it is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, How I Wonder What You Are. Basically, a line of the old nursery rhyme just going across the photo frame, even if I can't necessarily make out. Yeah, up above the world's so high, like, yeah, so it's one of those things that goes all around. It's like, looks a bit like wrapping paper to me, but that is a massive frame with the star there, and it's a very, very tiny picture for what it is. It does look like a very old picture, though, as well. So, yeah, like a colourless photo in a way. So, yeah, could I don't know. Is it a picture of his mum or something? I don't know. Regardless, nothing else there. 1B1-12B. Item was not scanned. Description, photo with frame. Official .lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. Those are oars. A fancy frame, but a completely redacted picture. Item was not scanned. Description, twin torpedoes ×2. What? Torpedoes? Official Dot Lab instructions, revised July 27th, 2020. A twin torpedo... Oh. Oh! It's another one of these goddamn things. Twin torpedoes. On, off. F and S. All new power pack with separate vibrating controls. I'm sure these are for deep sea activities, ladies and gents. Okay, maybe not. Twin torpedoes, separate vibrating controls. Control your own fantasy and explore the different levels of erotic vibrations. Jesus Christ. Warning: to avoid injury or aggravation of pre-existing conditions, this device should not be used on swollen or inflamed areas or skin lacerations. Do not use while bathing or in the shower. No medical claims are warranted or implied by the use of this product. All new power pack, separate vibrating controls. Takes 3 AA batteries, not included. Great. YouTube, please no ban. 1B1-20. Okay. Okay, Burwood Collection. Roma photo frames. 8 times 10 inches, 20 times 25 centimeters. Made in Canada, Fabrico Canada, Italian molding, Mouleau Italien. Okay. I mean, was there just were all the previous photo frames just a massive bundle or something, or maybe this is something else? Anyway, there's Epstein with redacted stuff. What is he reading? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Something that has featured on this channel as well. Yeah, I can't necessarily read that. However, I can speak for the blurb. Obviously, we know the twist. Yeah, go after this stream, go watch my audiobook of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on my channel. Oh God, it's pixelated as fuck. Yeah, I can't read the blurb on there, but I have literally read that for the channel. Anyway, next one. Nothing to read here. A lady bathing on a lilo. Okay, that's not something we need. 2 women topless, obviously. Thank goodness. Thank you, FBI, for redacting that for the channel. That's a redaction I approve of, actually. I really don't want to get banned. Anyway, nothing to read here. This is on a yacht deck with stairs. Yeah, it's a private yacht. Let's just have a look at chat. I'm getting a little worried. Hopefully you are fine. I think I'll be fine. Yeah, and my front door ring camera was charged recently, so I can look at the car right outside. It is still there. It could just be, you know, a rude neighbor. I've had a few of those. But, you know, just in case there's something... Oh, excuse me. Just in case there's something else, I want to keep my camera on it at all times. And also the lights to my house lit up, and me possibly staying up a few more hours than I expected. Yeah. A couple of months back, we had someone just park their car outside my house and just not pick it up for months. And I basically just posted on the local Facebook group, it's like, hi, if this is your car, move it, because I'm going to call the dodgiest tow truck company in town to get rid of it for me. And sure enough, within the next hour, someone had gone on and picked it up. Sadly, I did not catch them in the act, so I could give them a piece of my mind, but they did it pretty quickly. So, you know, if this becomes a problem, I will just do that. I mean, it's likely it's just going to stay there for a decent portion of the night. Speaking of, Alexa, show front door.
Okay.
There we go. I have to keep doing it. I think sometimes it just turns itself off. But yeah, interior of the car still looks dark. It's quite possible they'd just park there and just, you know, walked around. Still very rude to do it right outside my house, though. Still a very dodgy thing. It's sometimes burglars like to try and do that to sort of, what was it? How do you explain it? They're trying to scope out a place. So the fact that I took a step outside my front door brandishing a knife, the fact that I have a bunch of lights on, and the fact that my Ring camera is scoping them out as well, hopefully they'll leave me alone. I don't want them to even try go for my security, though I do have security. I have kittens in the house as well, I don't want them escaping. Anyway, nothing to read there. God, we're getting massively distracted during this stream. I really shouldn't be doing that. Definitely should not have looked at Welcome to the Game Free content before doing this. This is not the time to be scared. Like, I've been living on my own for years now. I shouldn't be this terrified. No, I guess... Yeah. I guess considering the subject matter, it'll happen. You know, you have these thoughts. Anyway, I think this says KMBT. I think that's a 2, and that's a 554. That's also redacted as well. Bare arms, bare legs, possibly butt-ass naked, possibly just wearing shorter clothing. This is also redacted, nothing there. This is also redacted. There's a pair of feet. Again, these are possible victims wearing. I mean, I bear in mind these are victims of a crime. I don't please don't construe anything I'm saying as like slut shame or anything. They're wearing more like revealing clothing. As I say, although the censorship box covers a lot of material. I think it only covers sort of this area, so it could just be their. It's like they're diving forward or something. Although there's no pool there, and the ground looks kind of crap. But yeah, it's like they're wearing more revealing clothing, so they could be wearing nothing at all. Could be wearing a pair of shorts on the top. You know, could be anything. But that's likely the reason why the redactions in this case are heavier than they might otherwise be. Of course, talking about heavy redactions, this one is completely covered, as is this one. Sorry, keeping an eye on the photos. Okay, this is redacted. They seem to be wearing, if not exactly the same kit, they're wearing for something very similar. Possible dressing gown here or something. All women wearing tights. Or it could just be a dude wearing tights. I mean, you know, it's the modern world. People can do whatever they like. You know, and I've had ladies tell me that tights, oh yeah, they're quite comfortable. I've never tried them, but I rely on their word to sort of tell me. So that you know, dudes can wear tights if they want, but in this case, I think it's more likely that they're all women. Anyway, that looks like a cliff, possibly a beach, but apart from that, completely fully redacted. I keep on getting a couple of like random stuttering noises from the ring cam. It's possible that, you know, something's around or like the wind's picked up or something. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything to the car. Doesn't seem it seems to be a quiet street, but still, there's a random ass car parked outside my house. I'm keeping an eye on it. And it really doesn't take long to charge my ring camera either. Anyway, big black box there. Nothing there. And there's another big black box there. And a big black box there. I can't read or comprehend anything there. Same here. I mean, this is in a dark area. There's a little bit of light there. It could, you know, this could be anything. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is. Okay. Could be a dark corridor. This looks like a double set of doors that you'd find in a public building or something. Or I guess, you know, rich and famous could have a double door somewhere. This is a dark corridor. These are possible shadows or something. So maybe this is done later in the evening, and that's why a lot of it's very, very gloomy. And Clara's back in the room playing with her toy right by my desk, making an absolute racket, aren't you? Yes, you are. Well, as long as they're not chewing on any of my clothes like they did earlier today, that's all good. Yeah, you cannot have a floor drobe with cats, I've discovered. I need to shape up my act and be less a permanent bachelor. Anyway, nothing to read there, nothing to read there, nothing to read there. Half a bench. We've got half a bench. I'm assuming there's somebody on the other half of the bench, but nothing to read there. This is heavily redacted here. Nothing to read here. Is that a person? This is, yeah, judging by the angle you can see here, this is a railing. I want to assume that this redaction is somebody standing or sitting there. But I don't see I mean, I guess this could be a shadow of the person, but there's no shadow like up and around here, and there's no shadow along here. So it could just be there isn't anybody sitting there, I want to say. It does look a bit weird. I mean, there's a shadow here. There's also a mix of shadow and light there. Yeah. Mix of shadow and light there. It could just be like the light's coming from this angle, moving from right to left, and there could be someone sat there. If they are, it's a small figure. Unless, of course, like the light is pointed in a strange way. Clara, let's get that spring and let's get that. There you go. Move that way. Move that way. There we go. Good girl. Oh, what's this? Oh. Good kitties. Stay away from my PC for a little bit. I don't want you to turn me off midstream. Yeah. So that could be a person there. It's a small box. Could be a small person with a small shadow. And that was Clara scaring the shit out of me by running down the stairs. Anyway. That's heavily redacted, as is that, as is that, as is that, as is that, as is that. Oh my god. Redacted, 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 redacted. All of it redacted. Okay. This is not a building, kind of like a castle. There's nothing there either. That's also redacted, that's also redacted. That... Oh yeah, that's an arm, that's an arm. It could be someone in like the spread pose doing that. Yeah. Of course, with my ring, I can just look at the logs and see who's parked up and see if there's anybody outside my garage. In fact, I'll do that now. I'll see if it'll load up. Sorry, just background stuff. But that's a person. Nothing to read here. Nothing to read here. That looks like naked skin. That's a massively redacted box. This is a completely redacted box. Naked skin here. That's redacted. When I say naked skin, or I should say bare skin. You know, could be anything. Could be just someone sat with wearing shorts and that's just their feet or something. I don't know, but I see basically white skin. That's what I see. So it's there, there, and there. Redacted, redacted. What are we dealing with here? Is that a pair of legs? It's either a pair of legs or some kind of metal railing. But regardless, that's redacted. Ooh, okay. That looks like skin there. Possibly a leg going down to feet, and that's another foot. That's, from what I can see... Oh god, and that's another leg going down there, I think. That's not good. Absolutely redact it. Same with that, and... Oh, Jesus. Well, this is a redacted box here. Oh god, is there anything to read on the, on this? Like, I think there's, like, writing or calligraphy there, but I can't necessarily see it. This guy's bored. Whose hand is that? That is... That's an older hand, I want to say. I don't think that's the hand of a younger person. Indeed. I mean, if you show me that hand, I would hazard a guess with it being male. A male hand, possibly. But obviously we don't know. I don't know the intricacies of these photos. Nothing to read here. Okay, what does it say? Print file. Archival preservers or Archival preservers. PO Box 607638, Orlando, Florida, or FL. 32860, 407 886-3100. 6004-1 something star number 8102P. Well, we've not had that earlier. Okay, there's an arrow annotating something, but otherwise this is fully redacted. This says number 2, but this is also heavily redacted. This one seems to have been flipped. Do we read this? Yeah, we read this. DV1E, a V221, CNWE, and 1. Wait, this has been it hasn't really been flipped. It's been mirrored, I think. Strange. 876 something 236, I think. Can't 100% tell. Anyway, let's go back. Okay, print file archive preservers. Okay, we've got something else here. So this one says date assignment, pointing down 9379, 7th of 8, file number. Well, I don't know if it's redacted with it being underneath, or file number is just not there if it was meant to be written to the side. Can't tell. Can't really tell what that says. Orlando, Florida is probably the same as the one previous anyway. Florida 32860, 407 886 3100. I want to say the last one was. Insert emulsion side down, style number 81080. Okay, so it looks like these are just pictures that are being developed. Regardless, we can't really read them, and this one you can't even read the writing here. Print file, archival preservers. 8014-2, something scribbled out there. Someone's messed up. Apart from that, can't read that. These are all, yeah, black and white photos. Can't read that. Clara, how do you keep ending up right by my PC with that toy? Let me get that for you. Let me get that for you. It's all right. It's all right, kitty. Hey. There we go. Little darlings. Anyway, that's redacted. All right. Ankles, I think that could be a head or hair. Yeah. Yeah, considering what I can see, my mind can only imagine what the full photo might be, and I don't want to have to imagine that at all, because it's a bit foreboding. I can sort of tell what it is. It's serious shit. So yeah, 80141, star number 8102P, file number, nothing there. Date assignment, nothing there either. That's redacted. Okay. Town of Palm Beach Police Department, evidence case number 05368, property number 05102Y, item 20, quantity, nothing there. Description, misc photos. Suspect, nothing there. Officer, nothing there. Date, nothing there. Lab number, nothing there. KL231. Okay, and that's the end of that. So, I'm pretty sure that Palm Beach, that was the place where this sort of first blew open. I think we had some witness testimony from Virginia Guthrie, actually basically being there at the time during her childhood, and that's how some of this stuff started getting unraveled. So yeah, this could be. Oh, when's the date actually? No, it doesn't. It doesn't say the date. Okay, so we don't know when 100% this was, but it could have been quite early in the case with Palm Beach. Obviously, like stuff in dataset 1 and dataset 2, we had like stuff in 2020 sort of time when this stuff sort of blew up, possibly a little bit earlier than that. No, probably a bit earlier than that, to be honest. What else was I going to say? Yeah, British Virgin Islands territory, there was a lot of case studies, and a lot of stuff surrounding that, but that was more like present day, whereas this Palm Beach, that was stuff that happened back in the day when stuff was getting reported, and didn't seem like anything was happening from there, but there were detectives, there were cops investigating and doing lineups and everything. So I'm willing to bet behind the scenes this went on for quite a while, and it's just only now become public eye, now that all the ducks in a row, and they were able to release a statement saying this person did all this wild shit. Hello, Clara. You're going behind my PC again, but you haven't got anything. There's a good girl. Get him out from under there. Alright, next file. PhotoFast 1H, Tel 590 27.87.08, Gustavia 97133, St. Bartholomew, Barthélemy, FWI, Sujet, and date. Okay. Sujet, I mean, could be a foreign word for subject, could be a foreign language. Languages aren't my thing. I'm sure somebody can fill that out if they speak that language. A photo, a redacted photo again, nothing to read, a redacted photo again, and the same here. A lot of redacted photos, shadows, so these are people. Redacted. These are thin lines. I want to say this is people, but these are very thin lines to signify people. But that said, there is something there because there was a shadow coming from it at the bottom there. Same with that. Oh no, there's somebody in the background. Yeah, there's somebody in the background. Can't make out who they are. Don't want to make out who they are, especially on YouTube. But there's nothing to read there. That's a rocky ass area. Doesn't look like the best beach. Well, okay. The ground doesn't look like the best beach, but, you know, I mean, it does look like a secluded area, so that looks good. Anyway, sorry, I ramble way too much doing these. Nothing to read here. Nothing to read here. That's a party, there's a bunch of people. As for where this is, I mean, I've seen beaches in my country look similar to that. Oh, okay, this does actually look like sand. Over where I am, my nearest beach, it has pebbles and sharp rocks. And, yeah, I have cut my feet walking on those before, and it's not pleasant. Especially when there's salt water right next to it. Jesus. Oh, I was a dumb kid. Anyway, nothing to read there. The top of that head, I mean, I want to say that's probably Maxwell again. Anyway, 1B1-218. Clara, you keep knocking your toy over here. You gotta be careful, cat. Also, you're right next to something where if you press it, it will turn off my PC. Let me go get that for you. Let me get that for you. There's a good girl. Oh. Fuck, I dropped it. Hang on. This is a back scratcher, by the way. It's so useful. Hang on. Let me get that. Let me get that. Let me get that. Whoop. Oh, sorry, cat. Didn't mean to poke you. There we go. There's a good girl. There's your toy. Good play. Oh. Alexa, show front door. Okay, that's 1B1-21A.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep, car's still there. Like, I don't expect anything to happen for a little while, but if they can see that I'm keeping an eye on the Ring camera, they'll probably back the fuck off as soon as they get a free opportunity. Anyway, nothing to read there. And that is the only file. Okay. That's another photo frame. I want to say this is probably his office. That's a photo. There's a phone there. We've seen that kind of phone at the New York place, from what I remember. Might have seen it at the island as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay. 1B1-21B. And that's another photo frame. Completely redacted this. Red at the bottom. Possibly like somebody's top or something. Can't tell what it is from the top there. Okay, 1B1-22A. Here's another photo frame. Again, another weird one. This one looks like an old one, actually. A little bit neglected. This one's a busted life preserver. What do you call it? Life preserver? Life ring? Something like that. Well, palm trees. I mean, this is possibly Epstein Island itself, or indeed somebody else's island. We've seen Epstein on Richard Branson's island. I mean, that's a more famous one for the rich and famous. So it's possibly that. I don't remember Epstein Island having huge, massive palm trees like this, but I could be wrong. Heard a noise outside. It is outside that way, towards the camera and behind my PC and all of that. That is the front door. That is where my Ring camera is literally pointing, and I'm hearing a few noises from there. I just hope my neighbours aren't getting robbed. Certainly I'm not, because I'd notice. As for this, I mean, something of a horror. These could be a pair of eyes. But apart from that, I can't really make anything out. There's nothing there. It just looks like somebody's fucked with Photoshop or something. Regardless, nothing to read there. And that's the end of that file. Okay. 1B1-22B. And this is another photo frame. As to what this is, that's not a C. It could be like a bedsheet or something, or a coat, or a blanket, or whatever. What's here? I don't know what that is. Some kind of wooden stick, which sort of cuts off. Like, this is really weird. Same with what we had earlier. It's just, this is one really, really bright thing amidst a sea of black, but I don't think it's all, like, the black box of stuff being redacted. I just think it's just a dark photo in general, but there might be some actual redacted stuff there, but I can't tell where the redaction starts and the photo begins. Item is not scanned. Description: 1 adult soap. One of these again, is it? Official .lab instructions, revised July 27th, 2020. $7.99. You can access my my Chrome wishlist at the in the description of this stream or video, depending on what you're watching. While I will admit that site is looks mainly for catered towards OnlyFans models and stuff. You can send dodgy shit towards. I mean, I'm not one to judge. I mean, I have one as well. There's a lot of, teas, coffees, coconut water, all that sort of things as well. If you want to actually send me physical stuff, you can, but I would encourage you to consider donating to the SOAR charity, or, just donating to a charity that covers the victims of abuse. The kind of things that we're looking to... Is promote the right word? Probably not. Is the charities we're looking to support with the making of this content. I would consider sending to them first before you even think about little old me. I mean, here I am, my uppy ass is worried about burglars in the area when all the time I'm just looking at them through a camera, or looking at the car through a camera, I should say. I don't know. If they go for the back door, I would be able to tell. I don't think they've gone for my garage either, because there's nothing there. Well, apart from some shitty homemade alcohol. Anyway, sexy, loving soap. Anyway, that's... I want to say that's 2000 rather than 2006. Always on the something? Cutting end or something? Made in China. Yeah, that's what that says. Clara, what are you doing back there? Please don't turn off my PC. Sorry, I think as much as I love my cats, I should really shut the door when they're when I'm streaming, because they were absolutely fine recording when I was recording videos during the day. It's just they seem to be very active and playful right now. Hello, Dexter. You're good. Clara's a really energetic one. You're just chill. Yeah, they've been a lot more friendly. I mean, Clara's always friendly, but Dexter's been a lot more friendly towards me ever since we got him neutered. And yeah, as I say, there were strays. It had to be done. Population control of kittens is an important thing, but there's no pain. They're absolutely fine. They made it through that progress. But if you end up seeing like Clara on one of the shelves or something, there's like a bald spot on the side of her flank. That hair will grow back. Just in case you guys are worried about the welfare of my cats, that's completely understandable. Oh, and speaking of, I will be uploading some more shorts on the cats. Possibly after this stream. It depends if there's something interesting going on. I sort of upload like a cat short to sort of counterbalance it. Yeah. Sorry, I've got like a Amazon Alexa. I'm saying that quickly. I don't want that to show, and yeah, it registered anyway. It's basically there.
Some of your photos.
I don't want to see my photos. It's basically there to. It has a screen, and I can see my cameras with it. Alexa, show front door. There we go. Back there. Anyway, let's carry on. Barcode 022625052257128452B6. Yeah, sorry. So I ramble a lot when doing these. I think it's a good way of coping with the murky and horrible material that I do face. 1, 2, 3 redacted, 4 redacted, 5. Part of it's redacted, but it's Epstein. Looks like a frame photo of Epstein. 6 redacted. Okay, and what does this say? In case number redacted, you'll be asked to look at a group of photographs. The fact that the photographs are shown to you should not influence your judgment. You should not conclude or guess that the photographs contain the picture of the person who committed the crime. You are not obliged to identify anyone. It is just as important to free innocent persons from suspicion as to identify guilty parties. Please do not discuss the case with other witnesses, nor indicate in any way that you have identified someone. Signed, see front. Date 03/18/05. Time 12:20. Let's let that sink in if you guys are watching. Ooh, Carl Porter CMP JR. Thank you for signing up as a member. I don't know if you're actually watching the stream or not, or if you just signed up. Thank you anyway. So yeah, that's, think about it. 2005. That is over 20 years ago that this thing happened. That this started showing up on some people's radars 20 years ago. Why has it taken so long for anything to really happen? Well, obviously stuff had happened. Epstein got arrested. Ghislaine Maxwell got arrested. Epstein's dead. But a lot of other perpetrators are still walking after possibly 20-odd years. So yeah. Oh god. Alexa, show front door.
Okay.
And Riley pointed out, older than some people in the chat. Well, the car is still there. I don't actually know if the car has been there, since I first started hearing noises when I was streaming, or if it's just been there for a while. I just haven't walked out the house yet. But no, that's all good. But anyway, there's, 03/18/05, as we said. Time 12:20. So stuff like signed, date, time, officer's initials. Apart from that, that's all being redacted. Oh, it's not there. It's just in this instance. Officer's initials, they're redacted. 1-805-934-4224, and the facts 1-805-934-4991. Finding specialties, PO Box 562, Santa Maria, CA 93456. Stock number 134214-A. Okay, that's the end of that file. Item was not scanned. Description: broken glass handle. Okay. At least there's not a fucking dildo this time, Jesus. Official Doc Lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. Okay, broken glass door handle. Okay. Well, I say there's no dildos or anything. It is a broken door handle. It looks like a dildo. It still looks like something you can shove up your ass. Why? Why does fate have to torment me in this way? Anyway, it says 26, and there's no other files there, so let's please move on. More legroom. Scarlett's Cabinet. SW corner of I-95 and Hollandale BCH? Beach Boulevard, maybe? BLVD is normally Boulevard. 954-455-8318. Looks retro, whatever it is. Oh, fucking hell. The first, the original, the best. On our 13th year. For sale at authorized retailers only. Adults only. Excitement. $4.95. God, this is old. Where the action is. Taylor Wayne. Please don't be naked. Thank fuck you're not. www.adultstaffing.com and www.excitementindex.com. Okay. And this might be the back of it. IB6-12A. I mean, that could be a poster rather than an actual magazine. I want to say that's possibly the case. Yeah, I want to say that's probably a photo. Might have some stuff on the back or something. Or just, like, sort of a prop to show the character of Epstein, if that makes sense. Like, similar to how you would have a character witness to say, what is this person like? This could be something like... I don't know how it works. It could be like a poster to show, hey, this person liked, this person was a sex pest or an nymphomaniac or something. Is, you know, that proves that he likes this kind of things. I don't know. I can't imagine why else that would be there. Anyway, oh god, here's another one. The most popular men's club in Florida for the last 6 years. Scarlett's Gentlemen's Club. Okay. Son and... I'm assuming more in the biz. No cover for our ITB guests. $100. You something. Bottles for everyone, including Absolute, Bacardi, Cuervo, Jack, and much more. Damn, I can go for that. Thursday couples night. Oh great, bring the fucking wife along to a strip club. Free admission for both. $100 bottles of Mort White Star for all couples. Free lunch buffet. Weekends, noon, 5 p.m. Ooh. Half price on all cocktails, beers, and champagne rooms, noon to 8 p.m. Full nudity, full liqueur, full friction dances. Open late, 7 nights, sun to wed till 5 a.m., Thursday till 6 a.m., Friday sat till 8 a.m., always hiring. Ask about our no house fees. www.scarlettscabaret.com. Oh, it's cabaret.com, not cabinet. Could be cabaret. $1,000 cash amateur contest Thursdays, broadcast live on 93 Rock. Oh, radio, I remember that. Yeah, it looks like something that would come straight out of Sexy Space Babes. Anyway, southwest corner of I-95 and Hallandale Beach Boulevard, I want to say, behind Discount Auto Parts. In a classy area of the neighborhood, I see. 954-455-8318. There's nothing... Oh, no, there's... I or 1B6-12. Yeah, I want to say there's one there. The first, the original, the best. Our 13th year, excitement. And that looks very similar. $4.95, where the action is, and that's all redacted. Thank fuck. I don't want to see that. Well, I don't want to see that on YouTube anyway. Especially not when it's on my channel. 1B6-12B. I think there's a dash there. Yeah, I want to say there's a dash. It fits the format that we've seen previously. Okay, next one. Item was not scanned. Description. Victoria's Secret bra. Fucking hell. And it's okay. I will admit, that looks less like a bra. It looks more like my grandma's curtains when she was alive. Like she'd have like these thick curtains, but she'd also have like a mesh inner curtain in a way. So you could have The thick curtains open, you could see the outside, but people couldn't spy in on you. That's what that reminds me of. Obviously, it's a heavy lace curtain, bit different from the lace you'd see on women's lingerie today. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to make like an obvious point of, oh yeah, this is what lace is. No, it was like a thick layer of lace. I don't want to go into too much detail on that. It's not the best thing to see on YouTube anyway. So I'll be marking this as 18 plus anyway. Anyway, okay. Reader size before transfer 7.64 MB PAP. Size after transfer to CD 7.64. 342157. National camera. Palm Beach Police Department. Official police photographs. Prints number, nothing there. Case number 05-368. Date 8/28/06. 2006. Okay, so these are very early days. Time 11:05. DHS-HV number, nothing there. Tag number, hash, nothing there. I want to say the hash in this case means a number. That's traditionally what it would normally mean. I mean, Twitter wasn't even a thing at this time, so you didn't have hashtags. Anyway, type case, sexual battery. Yeah, sexual battery. Location, 345. Yeah, there's nothing happening there. Location, 345. Country Road. Number 1 prop, 0.05944. Number 8 prop, 0.05382. Taken by PA something? PAD, maybe that is? I don't know. But the rest of that is redacted. Developed by nothing, PD, nothing, NC. Printed date, size 4, there's nothing there. Okay, what do we got here? So we got wallets, reprints, 5x7, 8x10, 8x12, 11, I want to say, that's probably times 14, 16 times 20, 20 times 24, 20 times 30. Negative number quantity, I want to say. There's nothing there, and there's nothing in the total as well. No special instructions either. So, yeah, this is basically like a general total tally of police photos. There's just nothing added there. Maybe they just got so many they lost count. I mean, certainly there's over 1,000. There's technically meant to be over 1,000 files altogether, even though there's only 67 clickable ones for me. Oh God, I can't even speak properly. God damn, we're already approaching the 2-hour mark. This is not the short stream I was expecting. Anyway, National Camera and Digital Imaging. West Palm Beach, FL 33409. Okay, this is all upside down. This is mirrored. That's not good. Let me sort that out. 342157. National Camera with Digital Imagery. We saw that already. Read this limit of liability and remedy. Photograph processing completed under processor's policies. Submitting any film, print, slide, negative, or digital image to our company for processing, printing, storage, transmission. That was a loud noise. I think it's one of the neighbours. Yeah, sorry. If you don't know, if you've just come in, I know we've lost in-game viewers over time. Wax and Wane is a very boring subject, so I'm not expecting many live viewers. I'm also watching my front door because there's a car randomly parked right outside my front door. I do live on a road. Well, obviously, it's a road that people. How the fuck do I describe it? I'm not on a main road or anything like that, but cars still do come by to travel to other places. So yeah, not the most ideal. I would have thought this was a quiet road, but one's parked right outside my fucking house, and it's rude. And I don't like it when people do that. Then again, it could just be. I know in my area before we've had burglars we've had sus cars just parked outside, just scoping out houses and stuff. So that's possibly what's happening here. So I've got my camera focused on them. They can. If they can tell, or if they've got cameras on their own car, they can tell that I've kept an eye on them. So hopefully they won't be bothering me. Anyway, what was I going for? What was I even going? Where was I even? Yeah. Sorry, I ramble on, I lose my place. Submitting a film, print, slide, negative, or digital image to our company for processing, printing, storage, transmission, or other handling constitutes an agreement by you that any damages or loss by our company, subsidiaries, or agents, even if caused by negligence or other fault, will only entitle you to replacement with a like amount of exposed film and processing. Yeah, exposed film and processing. Except for the exclusive remedy of replacement to the handling of film, print, slide, negative, or digital image is without warranty or liability, and recovery for any incidental or consequential damages is excluded. Okay. That's what that says. I can go back now. I can unreverse. 1650 N Military Trail, West Palm Beach. FL 33409 561 689 3155 fax 561 689 3159 1-800-9 camera www.greatnationalcamera.com. Sorry, my throat cracks a little bit. It's got a little dry. All right. So that's like them. Custom-made framing, mounting and laminating, large format printing, binoculars and telescopes, darkroom supplies, transfer video to VHS or DVD, full custom lab, photo restoration, digital and film, cameras and accessories, digital and tape camcorders, studio lighting and accessories, camera bags and cases, photo albums and pre-made frames. Number 342157. Hello, Clara. You've gone from chasing the spring to eating my foot. Anyway. Item was not scanned. Description, CD. So yeah. Front door camera is off again. I do need to reset it from time to time. I'll give it a little bit of time and then redo it just in case they're playing possum. Official .lab instructions revised July 27, 2020. There's a CD. Okay, there's a CD. It's scanned. 7.64 MB. Maybe megabytes? I don't know. Case 05368. Redacted. Number 8. Prop 05382. Number 1. Prop 05944. That says disc, compact disc, record something. I don't know. I haven't seen the CD in quite a while, so yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to say, but that's what I can read. Okay, nothing else I can access on that file. Okay, FD 340C 41103 file number 31ENY 3027571. Field office acquiring evidence. NYO, I think that says. Serial number of originating document. Nothing there. Date received 7/31/19. From redacted. Name of contributor or interviewee. Nothing there. Address. Nothing there. City and state. Nothing there. By redacted. Yeah. By. There's the line there for by, and there's also city and state underneath there. So I don't know. Oh yeah. So address is there. Name of contributor, interviewer. That's redacted. City and state actually goes here. Now that I would say that's really not a good way of formatting a form, but you know, what can you do? Pirated to be returned. Receipt given. Grand jury material. Disseminate only pursuant to Rule 6E. Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. Federal Taxpayer Information (FTI). All of that is selected as no. Titles. Interview of redacted. Reference 302. Communication and closing material. Nothing there. Description. Original notes are interview of redacted. Scan photos provided by redacted. 7/31/19. Redacted. Attorney Gloria Allred. Semi Wong paralegal. Redacted. Spent most time growing up. Santa Cruz Mountains. CA. Moved around a lot. Sophomore year. I don't think finished. Sophomore year, yeah. 4 different junior high and 2 different high school in 2 years. Redacted HS. Just turned 16 when moved to LA on my own. Life at home not the best. Got job at hair salon as receptionist. First moved there. Moved in with sis. Sis left. Hang on. Met through mutual friend of sis. Of sis half. Cis half one. So a half sister? Or sister 1/2 one, or 1.5 years younger? Or older? I don't know what that meant to say. This bit's redacted. Oh, this is a supplementary note for this. Alexa, show front door. I think that car's moving. Alexa, show front door.
Sorry, cameras don't work on this device.
No. Alexa, show front door.
Okay.
I spoke up. I've got multiple... no, it hasn't moved. I've got multiple dots around the house, so... Yeah. My voice is so loud it picked up one of the other ones, rather than the one that I've got here. Anyway, that's good. No dark web killers come for me yet, I can promise. Anyway, Native American spiritual healer. Okay. That's a random ass note there. Let me stay with him, Malibu to Beverly Hills. First impression was really good. Does bodywork, massage therapy. He worked on me, made me comfortable. He has 4 kids younger than me, single father. I work as bartender, redacted, have 3 kids, ages 9, 4, and 7 months. Okay, so yeah, this is a victim's testimony, I'm afraid. My sis introduced to Epstein through redacted. She traveled with him. Okay, this is a sister's account. Alright, redacted. My sis and I had an apartment together. Enjoying Hollywood. She moved back to city after met. Redacted. Heard positive things about J.E. I was very skeptical. I thought he had alternate motives. Didn't think someone would be this nice. So, I pause there. We remember from the first stream, I think it was either it was the first stream. No. It was either the first stream or the second stream. I think it was the second stream, actually. We had thank you notes for Epstein from potential victims. Now, this could be seen as... I mean, this is what we would recognize now as the grooming stage. You know, getting them comfortable, getting them on board, you know, doing whatever it takes to sort of get them comfortable and friendly before the bad shit happens. And indeed, it's possible the bad shit started. It's just you plaster them with a bunch of good stuff and stuff they want, and they're quiet and they're compliant. And dare I say cooperative in some respects. That sort of, you know, that sort of the stage we see with a lot of abuse cases that we've seen here. This looks like a grooming stage where you say, "Oh yeah, he's so nice, it's fine," and turns out this is not. Anyway, yeah, we did that. Okay, my sis knew JT. Oh, it could be JE, I suppose, but it looks like a JT to me. For a number of months, he was coming to CA Bel Air Hotel. She took me to his room. RM? Oh no, she took me to his RM. This could mean room. RM could also be a job title. She introduced me to him. Yeah, it's probably room. He showed a lot of interest in my life, my upbringing. He kept in touch, offered to pay for school. He would call me or have his assistant call me. I told him how I'd been homeless at 11 for a year. So yeah, a lot of this is shorthand by an attorney. This isn't like typed up or anything like that. This is all written down. He suggested hair school. I want to learn languages and to travel. He said anywhere I want to go. 17 years when I met him. Kept touch via phone. He invited me to one of houses with my sis. Went to a few in Florida, US Virgin Islands, NM, I believe, as well, before he left for Spain. Which is NM? I'm not American, so I don't know the abbreviations for US states, apart from a few of the more prolific ones, I want to say. You know, not to be derogatory towards other states, it's just I hear about Florida all the fucking time because of all the crazy shit, whereas there's some other states like Maine that are just more, you know, calmer, level-headed, I would say. That's a diplomatic way of putting it, I suppose. NM, New Mexico, maybe? Yeah, I think he had a property in New Mexico. I think NM is New Mexico. Anyway, before I left for Spain. Been overwhelmed with houses, luxury lifestyle, more I'd ever seen. He was fun and light-hearted. Activities, trials, rides, Hummers. Hummer's a car make, or a RV make, I suppose. SUV make. I was very comfortable with him, felt blessed and safe. First visit, he called me in to do massage. Redacted there. He put me in very uncomfortable situation. You see where we go from there. Groomed, got on side, and then you start with, here's some bad shit. And then they put in that position where it's like they really don't want to do it, but with all the grooming, with all the that kind of process, they are nudged over the line. Fucking wrong. Redacted and myself massaging him, he started redacted. Ask her to take off shirt. Remember feeling not knowing how to get out of it. Yeah. I froze, didn't know how to react. Felt very vulnerable. Gave up my job and apartment. Where was I going to go? Not just during assault. We were wearing bathing suits. Redacted. I don't want to go into detail. I can imagine. In the margin here, me and Sis had 2 BR apartments. I gave up my apartment at 2 something apartments. I don't know. 2 BR apartment. I gave up my PM apartment. Shorthand maybe, possibly. Go back and forth to his houses. I was primarily living in LA a few months. When January 2003 turned 18 in Spain. 4 months. Redacted. Studying Spanish. He sent me to Spain. He paid for everything, and there's a 3 times there. Maybe he sent me 3 times to Spain. He paid for everything. Redacted in his office. She helped me arrange it all. Okay. So that's somebody there. He knew how old I was when came back from Spain. I went to... that says JE there. That could be regarding who he is. Just to be clear for, court documents and stuff. I went to VI or FL. Not sure which one. It wasn't visiting him. It was home. VI, Virgin Islands, FL, Florida, I want to say. I travelled with him for 2 years. Within those years, he sent me to school. When not in school, I was back with him. I told him I developed eating disorder. Eating disorder, and the eating disorder being binging. Presumably written there was, there's an extra point as questions were asked. He told me to pack my stuff, and he flew me to A2. Phone calls. I was having a hard time adjusting. He was my friend. I thought so. I reached out to him a lot. I don't remember if I saw him after that. Ghislaine, redacted. When I travelled, we were a family. Several diff. NY, redacted. FL, different housekeepers. VI, redacted and redacted. Paris, chef cooked the best eggs. So presumably this is asking about staff members or other people involved. Hello, Chloe, you alright? Yeah, you are. Okay, got the best eggs. I lived with him everywhere, went NY, redacted with an arrow pointing to, from the second redaction, pointing towards the first redaction, and me had apartment in NY. Summoned us to house to go shopping or anything. He had multiple apartments there. Different people lived there. Jean-Luc had several. Okay, Jean-Luc, that's a new person. Redacted had one. I didn't work for him. Redacted. We were very close, good friends. Okay. I didn't work for him. Okay. So this could be the heading for a different name. We were very close, good friends, my best friend. She was very sweet and quiet. I understood that she was her girlfriend, it seemed that. No one ever spoke about relationship with J.E. When I tried to open up to her about my assaults, she didn't relate. Redacted. Bit standoffish, she wasn't very friendly. His assistant, plane departure, scheduling, all went through her and Ghislaine. Pointing here 2 times assault. More than 1 year before I was 18 with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, so both these assaults happened more than 1 year before I was 18 with J.E. Short blonde hair, brown eyes, not long makeup. Older than I was. Guess that she's 5 years older. Don't remember if talked about my age. So these redactions here are all names. We need to see these names. I guess, unless it's part of an active investigation, although I don't know at this point. It's been a long time. We don't know if it is, or if it's just, they know everything. They are just reluctant to press the button on it because elites and powerful people. So, yeah. So, redacted. Touched me during both. Fucking Christ. So this is a perpetrator. But I will say, okay, this is a perpetrator. The box is small. It's a short name, whatever it is. It's a short name or it's abbreviated. I mean, indeed, it would follow in here. It could be an abbreviation here because these are also abbreviations. JEGM, redacted, and me. Those were people I saw the most. There were other people. There were lots of different people. My age. Some came and stayed for days. Some in and out within a couple of hours. NY. Remember seeing girls here stay in an apartment when it was empty. No idea if under 18, didn't talk with them. Don't know names. FL. I had a RM, I'm assuming that stands for room there, with bathtub. We all stayed together, no routine. Jeffrey always woke up early and had his coffee. No set time. Wake up when ready. A lot of girls coming in and out for a short period. For an hour or two. He was very private. I know they being girls, were coming to meet him. So presumably these things were added on during the questioning processes, like, add a little bit more, who is they? Define they, define he, define she. Getting that down there. To meet him, but didn't know why. Could have been coming to see GM, Ghislaine Maxwell. Girls come in, kitchen, here, redacted, say they're here to see Jeffrey. It was clear they were there to see him. Don't remember names. They weren't hanging out with me. It was very secretive. This isn't a redaction, it's just nothing is added there. I was, in quotation marks, something. I didn't trust anyone. Maybe this could represent, like, a physical gesture, like a shrug? Or something like that? Possibly. VI. Virgin Islands, possibly. He had separate quarters, no set schedule. Gathered outside area, very leisurely. People would come to island. Jean-Luc, Naomi Campbell, older people. Less traffic. Jean-Luc. I understand one of Jeffrey Epstein's boyfriends, maybe? Works for / owns modeling agency. Or business friends. BF could be business friends rather than boyfriends, I think. Because I don't think Epstein... Well, I don't know. I don't think Epstein was into boys. Works for / owns modeling agency. Very centric. Small, colourful. Maybe eccentric. Saw him quite a bit. He travelled with us. Ghislaine. Very intimidating. Very cold. Understand her to be partner. The relationship more business. I avoided her. She's not friendly or nice. And she's a brat as well. Judging by what I saw from her questioning, shall we say, with the police. Photo 1, JE and redacted on a Cedo in VI. I took that photo from the dock. Photo 2, JE in VI on his boat. I took photo. Photo 3, JE and someone else from Italy, friend of his. I took photo. Tarmac, VI. I think that's VI rather than 6 in Roman numerals. It doesn't make sense for Roman numerals to be here. So Tarmac, Virgin Islands. Photo 4, JE and redacted, VI, different island, don't know people in background, I took photo. Photo 5, redacted JE, USVI, different island. Yeah, there's a lot of islands, there's a lot of different islands in the Virgin Islands, but I'm assuming if these are all privately owned, just, you know, go through the directory of who owns private islands, because they've got a good chance of being in here at this point. How many islands in the Virgin Islands are private? How many are owned privately by people? Look for that, and then you can probably work a few of these things out. USVI, different island, photo 6, top JE, redacted, flying to FL somewhere. Redacted, young, privileged, entitled, saw her a handful of times. Okay. Bottom, JE, redacted, VI. Photo 7, JE, redacted. Took photo in FL, Disney World trip. Photo 8, top, JE, yellow friend of his who toured Disney with us. Yellow friend of his? I don't think that's a race thing, I will say that. Yellow friend of his. Maybe just dressed in yellow. There's friend is crossed out. Only person recognized is JE. 3, JE, same friend as top. Okay. Photo 9, 1, JE redacted USVI. I took photo. 2, JE redacted. taken NY Robin Hood special event. 3. JE redacted, taken in Paris. I took it. 10. 1. JE redacted. Hook taken in Paris by me. 2. Me? I think that was redacted. JE is here. So that presumably represents the order that the witness said they were in. Also taken in Paris. 3. Me redacted. JE redacted. A lot of fucking covered people here. Alright. 11. 1. Me JE taken VI helicopter. 2. Me JE. Think Jean-Luc took photos. So yeah, this is witness statements going through all of the photos taken previously. But I don't think they could be from dataset 1 or 2. We're about halfway down in this PDF. We might be here for a little while. We might not even be able to get this done in the stream, because if my voice is breaking, I'll call an end to it. Anyway, 12. 1. GM blue grey pants. Okay. GM me JE Jean-Luc pink SH taken in Ecuador. 2. JE redacted taken VI by me. 3. JE 13. 1. JE redacted taken by me and VI. 2. Me JE taken VI. 3. JE redacted taken at Disney World by me. 14. JE in FL at Disney taken by me. Don't know other person. Yeah, so it sounds like this victim was just, she was steadily coerced and being made sort of dependent on Epstein. And as such, she was the one, taken around on his arm, essentially, just all over the place. But, yeah, the age, 17, 18, younger when some really bad stuff happened. Redacted took pics of me, don't remember how it came up. 1 photo shoot, I think before trip to Spain, on island. I believe I was wearing bathing suit, modelling, don't remember lot. Seemed light-hearted, don't remember whose idea. No one else there, just myself, not that I recall. Photos without clothes. Redacted has lots of photos of me. Friendly photos. Define friendly photos. Fucking Christ. 4 assaults before 18. And they happened in Paris, NM, New Mexico, I want to say, and Florida. 2 of assaults were rapes. Snuck into RM while sleeping. Or snuck into room while sleeping. Fucking Christ. Redacted. The setup kind of strange. No MTG point besides kitchen. MTG? It's not Magic the Gathering, I'll say that. I didn't see him a whole lot. Probably count on both hands number of times there. He didn't visit often. Always kept me downstairs in room. Other people stay in nice rooms upstairs. Sister. In beginning, she travelled with me first time. She wasn't there a whole lot. More in beginning. Have lot times we together. I just remember her saying what a great guy he was. Again, groomed. Redacted. She worked in his office in New York. I turned receipts into her for petty cash. I assumed she was assistant. JE sent me shopping in NY and saved receipts. Turn into him. Arranging anything to do with travel. Help me arrange first trip via phone. So this is probably assistant, concierge, that kind of person. They don't remember who gave me a phone. Yeah, okay, this is the witness, doesn't remember who gave her a phone. Redacted. Fly in one of his planes. Gulfstream and a bigger one. I fly commercially to him. Then to his properties or houses. Schedule through redacted. Only see redacted in NY in person. JE helped me open first bank account. Set up credit card. Redacted. He had banker help me. Okay, right on block. Or this is someone who worked for him right on block. I don't know what that would mean. Gave letter that I was residing with him. Was in my name. Paid for my school. Sometimes gave me cash. Gave me gold ring from Egypt. 400... Is that 400 or 600 BC? Left it in New York when I left. He took me shopping. He was very controlling about what we wear. He was buying, so he picked. JE believes monogamous way of life is not way to live. It's not healthy to be in monogamous relationship. Idea to build harem. Went to Spain together to learn to build this. I trusted him a lot and believed a lot of what he said. It was all mind control. He asked me once, a very random question, if I thought it was wrong for a redacted. I said, I think that's wrong. Phoenix. Vegas is closer. Redacted. Sell for resources. Alright. I need a drink for that. Now here we can see some repeats, so I'm going to say the line and I'm going to say times 2, times 3, times 4, as and when. I'm going to go through and if I can... I'm going to go through and see if I can play Spot the Difference. Sorry, I'm going to take a little break after that because that was some harrowing shit. Alexa, show front door.
Okay.
Thank you. It's a good thing there's not many people watching. Okay. This is a good whiskey, by the way. A Scotch Malt. It's a light one. I got from the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. Ham hock. Lovely, just lovely stuff. And also the only alcohol I can really have on keto. I'll need to double check that. I'm pretty sure I can have that on keto. Anyway, once again, I'm being slow. This message is confidential and may contain legally privileged information intended only for the addressee. If you are not the addressee, you may not use, forward, copy, or disclose to anyone any information contained in this message. If you receive this communication in error, please notify Allred, Morocco, and Goldberg immediately by telephoning the sender named above at redacted. Thank you. And that is the same times 2, times 3, times 4, times 4. Okay. Yeah, that's Epstein and Jesus. Yeah, okay. That's a slim enough body that I would say it's someone quite young. Yeah, moving past that. 2. So here's another photo of Epstein looking around. So these could be photos referencing the witness thing. This is a plane, for example, one of the private planes. Yeah. And again, this message is confidential and may contain legally privileged information intended only for the addressee. If you are not the addressee, you may not use, forward, copy, or disclose to anyone any information contained in this message. If you received this communication in error, please notify Allred, Morocco, and Goldberg immediately by telephoning the sender named above at redacted. Thank you. Well, I think that's pretty much superseded by the fact that DOJ has released this publicly. But yeah, this is legalese that we'll be repeating. Anyway, yeah, that's a photo. Yeah, that does look like a young person. Fucking hell. Again with this one, there's nothing to read there. 10. Oh, fucking Christ. That's someone younger on his lap. I'm gonna move swiftly on from that. And nothing to read there. Or there. There's Piglet. Nothing to read there. Nothing to read there. That's someone quite young. That's someone... the same person, possibly younger. Nothing to read here. I'm going to swiftly move past these. These are some disturbing photos. It's disturbing photos. There's nothing to read there. We will move past them. You know, you can stop for the one... for like 1 pixel frame on the video or whatever to see that I have looked at it and gone past. These are things I want to speed through quite quickly for what I see are understandable reasons. I know there's only 3 of you watching live, but yeah. This is also for people wanting to watch afterwards, after that, and once it's done, and once it's encoded as a video. This is not the kind of this is not my usual entertaining content, but it's important to put out there and read. As I say, I wanted to read the entire thing, and that's what I'm doing. Nothing to read there, nothing to read there. I want to say that's probably the same person. Nothing to read there, 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 nothing to read there. 13, that's the end of that one, thank fuck. Oh, that was, yeah. Add the witness testimony on that, and that was some serious deep shit. So, yeah. As I say, when I promised I would read the entire thing, it's not all fun and games. I knew that coming in. I knew there's a bunch of serious stuff. Sure, it has its moments of somewhat amusing stuff, but you get sobered up pretty quickly when you actually get to the meat of the stuff. I mean, hell, we started off with a dildo, for goodness sake, and now we're talking about witness testimony. So ideally, I want to get this data set done. There's still quite a few files left. I don't know how long they're going to be. Anyway, nothing to read here, nothing to read here, nothing to read here, nothing to read here, nothing to read here. Yeah, these are photos of likely potential victims. Well, I say potential, I mean, they do look like victims. And he's taken a lot of photos, and it's... yeah, it's not great. 051024, number 20, misc photos. Copies. We actually saw a fully redacted photo of this earlier. Exact same guy, this guy in the exact same position, that hadn't been there. And this is a younger lady, I think. Although, as I say, this hand, it's wrinkly, it looks like a dude's. How much did I miss? You missed a lot of bad shit. I will say that. Aaron Wilbur 2377. No, I'm back. Okay, cool. Nothing to read here. Or now I'm back, I should say. Nothing to read here. There's two women. Nothing to read there. We're skipping past the redacted risque photos. I definitely don't want to show that for too long on YouTube. Burwood collection. Roma photo frames. 8-inch by 10-inch, 20 by 25 centimeters. Made in Canada, Fribrico, Canada. Italian molding, Mortra Italienne. Languages are not my thing. I mean, I read that accurately enough, I think. Nothing to read there. That's more of an artsy thing than anything worse. Now, okay, I scattered these out earlier. We're going to get a lot of smaller photos. I'm just going to generally blitz through them because there's not anything to read in them. But if there is anything to read, I'll obviously go through that. But considering the subject matter, I'm probably going to go through these quite quickly. So nothing to read here. Print file, archival preservers, Orlando FL 32860, star number 8102P, 60041 scribble. And again, nothing to read there, 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 nothing to read there. Risky photos are moving quickly, nothing to read. Hang on. I think this is VAU, from what I can see. It's partially cut off. VAU, or VA, possibly. IE, I want to say, judging by the cursive. And then this could be an LL and possibly an E. So EL, Vo, something EL. Or Varaniel, maybe? Something like that. It's hard to tell for sure when half the fucking yellow letters are cut off and it's pixelated as shit. And also it's in cursive, which, yeah, you only really learn cursive in school unless you want to go into like calligraphy and stuff or something more refined. But as a general rule, most people type these days. And my handwriting is probably god awful. In fact, I don't think I've written stuff properly down ever since I signed the deed to my house. I mean, it could be, some stuff I had to write down physically for that, but I'm willing to bet if you had me like a pen or something, I would have a genuinely hard time writing stuff down. It's different when you've just come out of school, but it's been a while since I was in school, and uni as well. But I did have to write down, but my writing was never good. My handwriting was always terrible, and I do sign stuff as well. I mean, it's the signature. You can afford to have shitty handwriting, but I'm wondering actually if I could like write down legit pen and pencil, that kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, I have considered, branching out and signing up to a bunch of stuff because I need to get out more. I did think about signing up to Mensa, which requires you to take a test, which could be me writing stuff down, which wouldn't be good. But we'll see. I mean, certainly there's other stuff I would need to physically write for, but I can't remember the last time I had to physically do that. I mean, I don't often keep pens and pencils in my house just because they cause a mess. And I have two little gremlins that like going for them. Oh, I will say now that Clara was being a bit of a gremlin earlier. She is now Sleeping right there. She's happy to listen to my voice. Anyway, if these are more risky photos, I'll be blitzing quickly through them. Yep, nope, moving on. Okay, that's better. Yeah. We saw a lot of redacted photos earlier, covering the sort of same scenes. This is probably why they were heavily redacted. They're all scantily dressed or just completely undressed. It's probably put up to it by Epstein. So moving through these quickly, there is nothing to read. Again, I'm going through these. That wasn't a gym. What does that fucking say? Vav something. Moving on. Okay, not moving on that far. Moving on. Blah, 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 blah. Shit. Moving on. No. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. All right, you didn't see that. CSAM not scanned. 33 images. Thank fuck the actual stuff was... The actual really dongly bits were blacked out, but god damn, that's not great. Official .lab instructions revised March 10th, 2025. Yeah, please no ban. Yeah, I had to blitz through that kind of stuff. I'm very sorry about that. I'm very sorry for having to show it in the first place, but, you know, it's like, this is an investigation into details. Anyway, this is redacted. Okay. CO of SD, 69805, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -062. That's weird. Anyway, nothing to read there. CO of SD, 72605, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, NW2. Nothing to read there. CO of SD, 60605, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -082. Nothing to see there. CO of SD, 75005, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -13.2. Yeah, that's not the worst it could be. CO of SD, 81065, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -15.2. Fucking, well, that's censored at least. Scared the shit out of me when it came on the screen. Okay, sadly enough, I need to go back. I need to find where I actually was. Yep, okay, I was there. Okay, CO of SD, 84005, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -12.2. Well, it's a good thing after this I don't think there are any more photos. Speeding on from that, CO of SD, 87005, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -11.2. CO of SD, 78005, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -052. SO of SD, 82005, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -072. CO of SD, 90005, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -10.2. I think that's the signature. And that is... Okay, that could be Epstein himself. Or Maxwell, I suppose. S611, CO of SD, 93005, 0122, +1, -2, -3, +1, -22. So yeah, after this stream I might go back and redact that from the video, but I will leave a note saying why, because fucking Christ. Anyway, right, new file. 1A12, FD-340C, brackets 41103. So this could be from 2003. File number 31E NY 3027571. Field Office Acquiring Evidence NYO. Serial number of originating document 21. Date received 5/2/19. Okay, so the form is from 2003. Could be like that's when the legal thing or the form was actually made or the template was made. I don't know. From redacted, name of contributor interviewee, address, and city and state. Nothing has been provided. By redacted. To be returned, receipt given. Grand jury material disseminate only pursuant to Rule 6E, Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, Federal Taxpayer Information, FTI. All has been ticked as no. Title, interview of redacted. Reference, communication and closing material. Nothing there. Description. Original notes are interview of redacted. Photos provided by redacted. Okay, this is another witness statement. Brace yourselves. Redacted. 5 of the 2, 19. Okay. Shitting hell. Alright. We've got some annotations here. So this is going to be hard to sort of narrate in a cohesive way. So redacted might be in the margin, and then redacted here might be this person instead. So trying to link information between two people. LNY may have moved to Florida, or LN something might have moved to Florida. Saw her on another IG. Redacted, scribbled, redacted. What does the scribble say, actually? I'll say there's a B, maybe there's a C, maybe that's an I, maybe that's a K. Can't 100% tell. Redacted. Redacted, redacted, redacted. Brackets and redacted. Looks like they're linking people or things to each other. Redacted. LNU. It could be LNU, I suppose. Used to be roommate, moved back to Brazil, still in New York. Okay. Redacted, younger than. Redacted. So these heavy redactions, these could be identifications of victims. Because they're saying this is she is younger than her, she's moved back to Brazil, she's still in New York. Okay, redacted. Redacted cis in law current. Redacted, not sure if took. Okay. Redacted, redacted. Redacted and redacted lot of partying. Redacted LNU. And, okay, big redacted, little redacted. Or lit redacted. I want to say this as more... Could that be little? Or lit something? These could be nicknames for the victims, or what they were called. But yeah, redacted, redacted. Pick, a lot of partying. Jerusalem? Italy? This is redacted, so these are where potentially these victims are now. Not sure if took... Almost sure, think she'd deny going. So that's redacted, redacted, LNU, redacted. This is redacted, so this is somebody's friend. Facebook, Instagram photo, that's redacted there. So that's how they found something. This is in quotation marks, so this could be another nickname, redacted. And this is also quotation marks there, that could be another nickname. So they might not know the actual names of these people, just the nicknames of them. FB. Move FL to NJ, could be back in A, in America. All below 18 went to CJE, except redacted and possibly redacted. Yeah, so these are all informations about who the other victims are, because not all of them would have come forward. Okay. This is redacted. Okay. Went one time. Friends of redacted friends. Big Brazilian group. Dominican, darker skinned, looks Amazonian. Brought toward end, and it was a desperate time. Maybe 1 to 2 years older, not sure. Desperate time, running out of girls. Friends with redacted BS friends. I see we've got a super chat. Let me. I'm gonna finish this line first, and then I'll get to you. Thank you very much. I like, as I say, let me just get this done first, and then I'll read the chat properly. Because otherwise I'm going to lose my place. Friends with redacted BS friends. JE didn't want Spanish or dark girl. Racist. Go in, wait in room, doesn't know if took her up or not. JE doesn't know who brought her up when they came down. Be she. So presumably this redaction refers to they in this case. Was not happy with her. Redacted says, I don't know what happened. So this is the victim says, I don't know what happened. JE, what doing? Why bring me dark girl? Bringing young girl, yeah, but not dark. So that was a conversation that this person had with Epstein. So he wanted a younger girl, but not a darker girl. Fucking Christ. Only up 5 to 10 minutes. Redacted asks what happened. Redacted says, I don't know. So that's what the victim was. In this case, this victim was like, what the fuck's going on? And I guess it didn't last long, so maybe, in a sense, some fortune could be garnered from that, though we don't know the details of what happened, and I certainly don't want to. Told her he just wasn't into her. Doesn't remember if he paid redacted, because he wasn't happy. JE paid her. Bathroom. One torso pink? Okay. Oh, fucking hell. Vaginas and boobs near bathtubs, I'm assuming these are rubber things. He got in shower and told her, can't just bring girls he doesn't like. Told her, keep looking for girls. Fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. At one point, redacted witnessed him asking for ID to go is like for ID or 10. I mean, I want to say it's more likely ID to go. Wanted to make sure under 18 because he wasn't believing them. BC or because redacted messed up by bringing more older girls. Brought out purple redacted. I'm assuming that's a sex toy. Redacted and redacted talk. Wonder if redacted still talks to JE. Redacted all about making money. Fuck, well that's the end of that one. Okay, let's have a look. Aaron, thank you. Aaron Wilbur 2377. Goodness knows how you're still with me. I know this isn't the first string you've been with me. I understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, and here's a tip for your efforts. Understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. Wait, what? And here's a tip for your efforts. I understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, and here's a tip for your efforts. Did you mean to type that out? Or is that that looks a bit like a mess. There we go. Oh. Well, thank you very much for that. I very much appreciate it. 2, it's okay. I understand. Here's a tip for your efforts. I understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, and here's a tip for your efforts. Thank you very much, Aaron. So I just accidentally sent it twice. That's okay. Oh dear. But thank you very much for that. As I say, the money is going to go towards the charity. Just once it's up, I'll just make a note of that and tally it all up at the end. But thank you very much. That's very much appreciated. I appreciate the words. I need some courage at this point because this is going into some bad shit. This may actually be split up into 2 streams because it's quarter to midnight at the moment. It's not the will, it's my throat is starting to crack and break apart. So if it gets to the point where I can't say anything without coughing every couple of seconds, that will be a smart time to call it. It's like my body breaks before my spirit does. But I will, as I say, I'm still going to do it all. Doesn't matter how long it takes me, it will all be done. But yeah, I think it might be good to actually speak to a few of my fellow creators on this, because, yeah, we're getting some bad shit. Anyway, right. Okay, next one. I think I want to say that this is like a subheading of maybe a different person or something, or some kind of subheading talking about somebody else. Anyway, this one's redacted. I'll just deal with this on the margin. Redacted living with mum at 13, moved out at 14. Okay. Roommate when still living with mum. They rented out rooms. Redacted just came from Brazil. Redacted was model. Older than redacted. Redacted have someone that I know, and he's not going to go further than what redacted say, and told her to be topless. Twitch nipples redacted. Yeah, we had this in the original coverage of the Epstein Files back when the court case happened. Does he like to have his nipples twisted or something like that? That question kept coming up. I mean, it was pretty wild, but obviously this is some serious shit. Went upstairs with redacted. J.U. really in love with her. Think maybe said do sketch painting of redacted. Redacted took everything off naked. Redacted naked. Well, we just covered the age, didn't we? Can't remember if had underwear on first time. Yeah, redacted took everything off naked. Redacted naked. J.E. approached hand to chest. Doesn't recall what J.E. said. J.E. turns around and leans hand toward chest. Move hand slowly and look. Grab lotion or spit in his hand. Okay, that's where that comes from. Redacted had no response, so he touched. Roughly redacted. J.E. says touch nipples hard, hard, hard. Fucking Christ. Got paid, left. Tell redacted another girl to tell him if uncomfortable with not wanting to take off underwear. Christ almighty. Right, this is somebody else. Tall blonde girl, maybe an unknown name. Don't remember how many times went, maybe 5. Jay introduced her to redacted, first time and last time redacted there. Not sure other times. Redacted, redacted called and put Joe? J.E. Oh, J.E. through to redacted. Brought J.E. repeatedly called redacted, asking for her. Redacted. Her being... That redaction referring to who her might be. Last time. JE called Redacted to come in with Redacted. They took off clothes. Recalls a lot of touching. Redacted didn't want to go think Redacted in relationship with someone. Yeah, so they went out for it, but they were still hooked in. Jesus Christ. Oh. Alright. 41st Street, maybe? That could be, like, the property. Anyway, this is a Redacted heading. In bathroom talking, think Redacted had told her. And this is... So this is, like, the lines in the play, so who's saying what? So Redacted. Heard you guys knew rich guy... massage touches nipples. Redacted. How bad is it? Redacted. Not that bad. After he redacted, it's done. So this is a case of, hey, rich guy is paying for this. You just got to do this weird shit. Sure, it feels weird. Sure, it feels uncomfortable. But, you know, it's not so bad. We're getting stuff out of it. So that's how they're able to recruit others. And unfortunately, we know that in several of these cases, he took it further and in unnatural ways. How bad is it? After it's done. Okay. Redacted, we're friends first. Redacted, year older than Redacted. 1 to 2 times, maybe more. Redacted told Redacted that JE used Redacted on her. Redacted may have brought her first time, not sure. Okay, we're moving on to photos. Photos. 1. Redacted. UNK, Redacted, maybe 15 for 16. 15 or 16, well, yeah, I don't think that's a date, unfortunately. And 2. Redacted, 41st Street in former apartment. Lamp may have been given by JE. Think maybe mixed up lamps. JE had naked woman lamp in his home. 3. Redacted, 41st Street in kitchen. 15 or 16-year-old. 4. Redacted. First Yankee game went to. Not sure when taken. 5. Redacted, in Disney New Year's. 6. Redacted, 17 years old. Redacted, 14 or 15 years old. Jesus. Sirocco working at club, then sell flowers. 7. Redacted. I'm assuming this is a nickname. Big Redacted. 8. Redacted. In Rochester, invited by group people that worked at club. 10/29/04, date on back. Yeah, so how far are we going to go back with this? We've got 03, 04 here as well. Yeah, over 20 years ago, a lot of this stuff went down. It's ridiculous. So long as well. And obviously, as time goes on, memory can fade on certain things and be unreliable. 9. Redacted, Brazilian parade. 10. Redacted to left. Okay, that's referring to a photo. Same person, middle photo 1, Brighton Beach. Think she was Redacted's friend. Remember bringing her... possibly? Think bring her possible with Redacted. So it's not a possible she's with someone. It is, yes, I was with someone. I think Redacted went up with girl 1 to 2 times. Not sure age. Hello, Dexter. Here's a good boy. Here's a good girl. Alright. 11. Redacted, not sure age and pick. 12. Redacted, summertime. 13. Redacted, same trip as photo 8. 14. Redacted, 18th birthday. Next, DR to 41st Street. 15. Redacted, never went to JE. Lamps from JE. 16. Big Redacted, could be a nickname again. Redacted, 41st Street. One of first picks on 41st when moved there. I will say, I am probably going to end the stream once I've done this file. It's quite a long one. We've still got a ways to go. So sorry, I know a lot of people are just randomly coming in saying, what's going on? Well, I'm literally reading the entire Epstein Files. I will carry on from file 4231 and hopefully get the rest of dataset 3 done tomorrow. Alright. Never went to G, lamps from JE. Yeah, I've covered this as well. One of the first picks on 41st move there. I've already done that. So yeah, once I've done this file, it'll be done. But it's like, yeah. It's not because this is some heavy shit. Like, I have a thick skin. I can keep going. It's just... Yeah. It's just my throat's starting to crack and it's starting to hurt. So, you know, I'll give my voice some time to rest. I'll do tomorrow's videos. And then I'll stream again as normal. So where am I? I'm here. 17. Redacted, Rochester. 18. Redacted. UNK, maybe redacted sister. And there's a redacted at the top. 41st Street front. 19. Redacted. Same day as 16 photo. 16 being the number of the photo. Okay. Up here we got barbershop first floor. They had second FI? Fight, maybe? Second FI? Redacted took pic. Going out to Brazilian party. Okay. And then we got these ones. A 5602. Junior high school prom. Redacted. 2518 43 43rd Street. Yeah, this could be just Epstein asking, hey, give me the photo of your junior high prom. For totally legit reasons, obviously, being sarcastic there. B, redacted. C, redacted. D, redacted, little redacted. Nickname from what we established earlier. Redacted. UNK, possibly big, redacted. UNK. I'm assuming UNK in this case is probably unknown. E, UNK, redacted. Did not go to J, redacted. Clara, get out from under there. Redacted. Group going to clubs. F, Gilherm. So that's not Ghislaine. It's Gilherm. That could be just a misspelling. Gilherm, because that isn't redacted. It could be a misspelling of Ghislaine because it isn't redacted, and we've seen a lot of redacted information regarding the victims or certain other people. Clara, leave my PC alone. Good girl. No, don't go back there. Gilherm, redacted as F. Alright, next one. Visit, first meeting with FBI. Doesn't remember everything said. Too nervous. Very nervous. Felt uncomfortable and felt like needed lawyer. May not have been honest because was scared. Didn't know if gonna go to jail when asked questions. Agents nice and friendly than prior encounter. Yeah, I mean, I'd be pretty scared too. Because potentially these victims may think that they're in trouble because obviously there was some shady shit going down, and you know they didn't know if speaking up would be bad for them. Obviously, in this case, the victims are being protected. Some of them obviously have come forward publicly. Virginia Guthrie being one of them. So yeah, but this is why this behind the scenes, these victims need to be protected because yeah, they're scared. They don't want this to come out, and they're worried about the ramifications on themselves. They've been through a lot already, and I can completely understand that. Okay, there's a line underneath. This could be a different person. First time saw redacted. Now that isn't completely redacted there. However, considering this goes onto victim information, I am not going to zoom in and speculate. So we're going to start from here. Started topless G, redacted, pants on, redacted. Presumably that is who had the pants on. He liked her, went back by herself, not with, redacted. Can't remember, but think second time asked to take pants off. No, that was first time. Second time he grabbed breasts. Progressed to use redacted, use on redacted. Small purple, redacted. Again, this could refer to a sex toy from earlier. Sometimes redacted, underwear with redacted. Used redacted when naked. Fucking Christ. Can't remember if redacted or not. J.E. make crazy noises. Redacted. J.E. ask, do you like it or are you enjoying it? We'll look at her very visual, look at breasts a lot. Standing up when used redacted. 1 to 2 times later out with redacted and got touchy. Didn't want to go further detail at this time. Emotional, yeah. Fucking understood there. Jesus Christ. I'm glad this fucker's dead. Asked if remember statement made to lawyers. You know what I like. After redacted, he told her that, what are you doing? You know what I like. You know what I'm into. Redacted understood that to mean young petite underage. Doesn't recall if brought anyone aged 13. Redacted called her back then. Feels she would reach out to JE. Feels she not doing right things now. Redacted thinks Redacted inviting guys over. So, I mean, I don't know. Is this like a trauma bond or something? I don't know. There's not enough context for that, but yeah, sadly these things can occur. Broadway 34th, corner of restaurant. BLDG? RT? After restaurant, huge BLDG. What the fuck is BLDG? Lives with fiance, redacted. Redacted would take money from girls brought like, get part of their share. So again, they're, after grooming them comes recruitment. Hey, bring your friends, bring all these people, I'll give you some more stuff. Yeah, that's basically how this web sort of expands. Fucking hell. Okay. Redacted. Knew through Redacted. Friends until she tried to hook up with Redacted's boyfriend. Think Redacted took Redacted to JE. Redacted. Think Redacted told Redacted that asked Redacted. Still hang out with Redacted. So I'm assuming these small redactions here, they're just initials. Or just a single initial like an A. A single letter just to signify who this is. But yeah, like, I can imagine friendships would have broken apart through this shit. One of many sad things going on here. Although, not such a sad thing, my cats are still playing around. Alexa, shut your front door. I want to see if that car's still outside.
Okay.
Yep, the car is still outside. I'll probably leave a few lights on, just in case. All right, so this is a separate page. So this could be this same individual. It could be someone else. 4190, 4191. So yeah, this is an order. Took cab to JE. Doesn't recall if ever took train. Walk down block and get cab. Remember on 71st Street. Big huge doors. Think red or brown. 2 to 3 steps. Next door has steps to downstairs. Okay, so 71st Street sounds like a New York location. And we did see the New York address right at the start, actually, of when I was doing this. It had big brown doors. 2 to 3 steps. Next door has steps to downstairs. Yeah, I sort of remember. I mean, there was a foyer area. Never took things. He didn't like lingerie on her. Tell girls don't wear heels, just wear casual everyday clothes. I mean, presumably, like, he didn't want to make it too obvious what he was up to. He wanted kids. I don't want to use the word kids. He wanted the girls to dress more their age. I think is. Again, as I say, I'm trying to sort of is rationalize the right word? Sort of work out why he would ask these things, why he would want to do these things. Obviously, the guy's a monster, but, trying to work out the logic of what he's trying to say from his perspective. Again, as I say, this is from his perspective, logic from his perspective, that does not represent my perspective whatsoever. Again, like, you can see me doing this. I mean, if you've been in the long haul, if you're one of the 5 people watching, you can clearly see that I'm disgusted by a lot of it. Anyway, back then, called Redacted, didn't have Jay's direct line. Think she said she'll call back. Redacted called back, and Redacted spoke with Jeffrey. Redacted, if you're not going to help, I'm going to talk. Jay said get a lawyer, but can't be same as his. So potential legal issues, potential someone threatening to whistleblow. Threatening to whistleblow is stupid. Actually just doing it and blindsiding the other person, that's the way to go. Not that I want to victim blame or anything here. Again, this happened a while ago. A lot of people are young. Okay. Girls. Not sure. NY. No IG. NY, comment on IG. Still talk to you sometimes. IG, don't know where. Here, they're IG, NY. J, IG, NY. N, don't really talk to IG. R, NY, IG. So it could be IG could be Instagram, maybe. So, you know, some of these victims, because they knew each other, like, again, this is the web of victims expanding. Friends of friends of friends, they might have each other on social media. That's possibly the rationale. That says exit. I may need to blast through several of these photos again. As I say, please forgive me, YouTube. I'm not intending to show any of this kind of stuff. It's just blasting through the legal documents. That's just one on the back, so it's probably the back of that photo. Again, that's a young-looking girl. NA0AN A0N2 NNN 04136 number 7A 33821. Okay, another young lady there, redacted. That's M NA0AN A0N2 NNN 04136 number 11A 33817. Another photo here on the back of that photo, NA0AN A0N2 NNN 08273 number 13A 6467. That's redacted again. Sorry, I don't know why I was focused on that. Redacted. I sort of lost my words there. This says 5, but nothing else. Again, that's younger women. That's redacted. 6, younger women again. Not sure what that symbol is. I mean, logically that would be 7. NA0AN A0N2 NNN 07403. That's young ladies again. Fucking hell. 0863958. Image 004. Echods 5529 102904. That was taken in 2004. That's what we know. Again, 22 years ago. Why the fuck are we still... Is there still so much hidden about this? 22 years ago. Who's been protected? I want to know. I mean, I can imagine, you know, we might see in the years to come some people getting thrown under the bus when they die of old age, so they don't actually face justice. That is what I suspect might happen with many of these cases. But, I mean, surely the Department of Justice is a huge department that went through this. Do we have a whistleblower among them willing to name some names? I want there to be. I think that might be the only way this happens, is if we get a whistleblower. Like, reveal it to the right people. You know, I've endorsed several of my fellow creators before. Some of the more prolific ones, Moist Critical, CoffeeZilla, for example. Even though CoffeeZilla, I think he's getting a bit too partisan with this issue. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I can get past that. Just, you know, keep talking about this. Don't let this disappear at all. But yeah, apart from that, respect for my fellow creators. But if there's a whistleblower, get it to the right people. You know, or even if you have to spread a rumor, if you have to do something that will lead to people discovering this information, do it. Give these victims justice. I can't remember if I said that. I think I did. I'll say it again. This is what happens when I go on tangents. I forget what I'm saying. 0863958, image 004, echoes 5529 102904 8. Yeah, I think I did. I had done that before. Oh well, I've done it again. Yeah, those are young girls again. Young teenagers, I want to say. 9 NA0AN A0N2 NNN 02526. Fucking hell. 10, nothing on the back there. Moving past that one. NA0AN A0N2 NNN 05573, number 6A 72263. And that says 11 at the bottom. Skipping past that. That just says 12. Skipping past that. Again, is the themes of... These photos have been referred to before. These are victims. Like, don't... You know, can't even joke about their shit. And I don't want to go into any details about that. NA0AN A0N2 NNN 09523, number 25A 44627. That says 13 on the back, that's upside down. That's 14 on the back. That's a bunch of girls with a dog. 15 NA 0AN A 0N2 NNN 04136 number 4A 33824. Again, that's gonna skip past that. There's nothing to read there. 16 NA 0AN A 0N2 NNN 07404. Yeah, I mean, in this case, we did it with the earlier streams, but considering the content and the fact that these are I know they're victims. I don't want to linger too much on the photos just in case there is anything to read. But equally, I am blitzing through them for obvious reasons. But if there's anything to read, I'll try and go back, search it, unless the photo is a bit risky. And I don't want to potentially risk identity of victims, even if it is heavily redacted. And indeed, I don't want to get my ass banned on YouTube either. I mean, I think I'm definitely running a risk here. But I will probably go back once the stream is processed and just, I might put a few more bars covering stuff. Like, you'll see my face, you'll see me talking, but I might do some more redactions on my own. Especially with some of the photos from earlier. As I say, the photos are not the focus of what I'm doing. I want to read it. And indeed, that's what I'm doing here. 16 NA 0AN A 0N2 NNN 07404. Again, victims. At least these are, obviously they're still pictures of victims. I'm at least glad that they're just, I mean, I want to say like looking normal in the photos rather than just either naked or in a bikini or whatever. Still don't want to dwell on it. NA0AN A0N2 NNN 09523 number 26A 44626. Okay. The fade, skin fade, Azor fade, or razor fade. Mushroom, Caesar, flat top, walk in, tape up, clean shave, something for men. Yeah, that's something I can read there, but yeah, you see what I mean. I hope. Is that 00? I mean, there's a line underneath, so it could be a 60 or something. I don't know. That says 00. It looks like a cross face or something. NA0AN A0N2 NNN 00963. Number 25A 93697. Moving past that. NA0AN A0N2 NNN 07404. And that is, I want to say that's 19. And that's the end of that file. Okay. So, as I say, I'm actually going to end the stream there. I've been going for a solid 3 hours. My voice is breaking, it's getting late, and I will need to sleep and recover my voice. Yeah, this particular stream, it went on to a lot of darker shit than I was actually prepared for. I mean, considering we started off with essentially a sex toy, moving on to witness statements and stuff. I mean, I thought this was mainly stuff submitted for evidence, but I guess it can include photos and supplementary stuff there as well. So yeah, I mean, I know dataset 4 that does definitely go into more documents here. I mean, we've still got, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're about exactly halfway on the files because we had 67 files altogether. I've got slightly over 30 to do. But yeah, some of them might be short, like we've had previously. Others might just be photos, which we can blitz through quickly. I mean, here we're reading something, so I'm just going to take a note of where we are. 4231. Where am I? I'll leave a note for myself. Now, sometimes when I stream, I mean, I've not done this before in the last Epstein streams, but sometimes when I stream other things, I like to try and redirect and raid somebody else. Like, ideally, I mean, and sometimes I've had difficulty with this because I usually try and find an up-and-coming creator or who's streaming at the time who meets the eligibility for restreaming and would also benefit from it. But there's not that many people here, and this is a very depressing subject matter, so I'll be ending the stream here. I will not be passing on, the grim stuff to anybody else. But I thank you very much for sticking around, for supporting me. Hopefully I'll be alive when I wake up tomorrow, and I will aim to stream again tomorrow evening, same time. Get dataset free done. Indeed, I thought I was going to get it done today. I didn't realize how long some of this other stuff is. I do know a lot of it is photos, but for important notes and stuff like we just covered, I had to spend some time on that. Plus, I get distracted as well. And of course, now we've got 8 viewers. It's peaked to 8 viewers just as I'm actually leaving. So, yeah. So I've got to go to bed. I've got to recover my voice. My cats have been fed. They will probably want to come to bed with me as well, because they like sitting on the... they love sitting on the bed with me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. And also, I think we're going to do it this Saturday. We have our traditional end-of-month community call. So if you want to look forward to something more lighthearted and fun, come say hi in the Discord. I'll be organising the event soon. You can come say hi. We can have drinks. We can talk about it. And it'll be a much more relaxed environment than obviously this grim shit. Anyway, I can hear my cats playing downstairs. I'm going to go down and look after them. I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to make sure there are no evil deep web hitman or anything, because turns out looking at home invasion horror game footage right before a stream like this is a terrible idea. A really, really bad idea, especially when the cats make random noises downstairs. And then my mind plays tricks on me. So, for example, if I move my chair that way, it's almost like somebody's poking their head out through the door, like doing that. And then I'm like, oh my god, what's that? And it turns out it's just my chair. So yeah, my dumbass is scaring myself, and that's because I've been looking at horror games. I mean, it would be great. I think I do want to do some more. I promise I'll shut up eventually. I promise I'll switch off eventually as well. I'm thinking about doing some more horror games and more doing some gaming content as well, just to help pad out the channel and get my face out there a little bit more. Because a lot of channels are getting hit with demonetization, mostly AI, which is good, but a few people are catching strays as well. And I want to make sure I don't inadvertently catch strays, and I've got to diversify my content a little bit more. Just to show that I'm a human, just to show, I do live readings as well, and I do all sorts of other things. But what I have to say every time that this subject comes up is it will not affect the day-to-day content that people already like. I'm not going to fuck with the 4 videos of audiobooks a day. You still get that. These are just extra things on top of it. I treat you guys so heavily with this new stuff. Don't worry. It will be great. But don't forget, the stuff that made you subscribe to the channel in the first place, that will still be there. I'm not messing with that. Because, I mean, you guys have been great. Anyway, we're getting more and more viewers, and I'm actually ending the bloody stream. So, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Look forward to it. Bye-bye for now. Good night.